Okay. I'm about to tweet like 3 times in like the last hour and a half. Getting downright ridiculous. My job demands a lot of social media work, and it's kind of roguey. Even stuff like if I want to plug my stuff on Reddit, I have to do like 9 different comments every week. So I'm on like constantly like commenting and checking Reddit on competitive Overwatch, so that even that's kind of growed. Hey Rashi. Hey Lauhitar. Hey, I'm doing fine, Artemis. Sure. Orc Inquisitor. Hey. Basically, your job requires your brain slowly to turn to mush. Yes, it does. You know that hog player? You do. Your hair is looking extra disheveled today. Thank you, Keolver. Sounds like a kidney disease. Thank you. And knowing you is probably fatal. What's your top 5 strongest Overwatch characters lore-wise? I don't even know, mate. Doomfist, Genji, off the top of my head. Beyond that, I'm not really too sure. I'm not as familiar with the lore as I probably should. Your recent dynamic positioning videos are good. Thank you, Nietzsche said. I'm thinking about making a positioning on dynamic positioning. A video on dynamic positioning, but I'm not quite there yet. Hey, Genuine. Making it to Tactical Crouch. Appreciate it, mate. Hey, Barry. Hey, Mercurial. Good to see everybody. Yeah, I have the interview with Tactical Crouch. Not an interview, really. It was more of a podcast fun, but it was honestly, we had so much fun. We chatted for a long time. It was great. I wish they had they showed the start of it. Dude, bro, we talked for like 30 minutes about Florida man stuff. It was hilarious. We had a good time. Okay, let's go fly a kite. You know what I'm gonna do, chat? You know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do something illegal. Not really, but I'm gonna do it. I had an idea. I just had an idea. have an idea. I have an idea. It's gonna be something a little saucy. Let me see. I have an idea. I have an idea. We'll get there in a little bit though, because we have one quick VOD review that we have to do in just a moment. A replay code review. But I have an idea for an illegal VOD review. Okay, let's take a look at this. So Noah, Diamond 5, replay review. Anything additional like Spilo to know? I've been fairly competitive in other FPS games. What can I improve on and my methods for getting better? How many hours of sleep do you get per night? 8+. Brilliant. Get the rank set up here. Not bronze, but diamond. What do you feel is holding you back from improving mostly experience and understanding? I started playing the game in season 2. Okay, so you're brand new. What are your long-term and short-term goals in Overwatch? I mostly just want to hit Grandmaster. I don't like playing a game and not being good at it. Fair enough. What do you hope to get out of the session? What can I improve on in the methods for getting better? We talked about that already. What is your hero pool and rank? Preferred dive heroes, Diva, Genji, Tracer. Top 3 played heroes are Genji, Reaper, Ashe. So what you need to do is you need to try to get a couple of hours on preferably every hero in the game, so you have a baseline of understanding, and then from there you're going to specialize with the heroes that you enjoy playing the most. To state the obvious, the number of hours that you play per day is the number of heroes that you play in ranked, and then you try to aim for, I would say, 2 to 3 hours of rank per day if you can, even an hour and a half to 2 if your goal is Grandmaster. Now, you may not be able to get there now, but even if you were to play like an hour and a half, 2 hours per day, I would say that over time, especially if you were to narrow and focus on your hero pool to 2 heroes, you could definitely get to Masters. Okay? Just gave him 60 hours of homework. I did, but if you've only started playing in season 2, you need to make sure, well, maybe not 60 hours. I imagine that they've already got like at least 2 or 3 hours on most heroes. So there's just a couple of heroes that I think they might need to fill the gaps on. And I do think that is important for new players. And you're a new player. So consistent training, short warm-up, that can be deathmatch. That could be the workshop code VAXTA, VAXTA. I prefer deathmatch personally. And then from there, work on filling your gaps of your 2 to 3 hours on every hero that if you haven't already got it already. Then go in and specialize in the heroes, preferably 2 heroes that you enjoy the most, and put your time in those heroes. And if any questions come up, you shoot them my way during this review. I know that you're in stream. If you have a Twitch account, let me know. If you need to be saving your questions for at the end, you can message me your questions at the end. All right, let's take a look. You are playing... What are you playing? Winston! Whoa, I was expecting DPS. So you're playing dive tanks here. Yeah, see, this is the problem here. There's nothing wrong with playing all the dive heroes necessarily, but it's just going to be slightly slower improvement. So what you need to find out is I will coach your dive tank. And there will be aspects of this that will apply to other DPS and supports. But for you, it's going to be about finding where you want to pour your specialization in. And then if you have to shift that in the future, that's okay. But for right now, what's the goal? The Great Black Warg? Haha. OG. How's it hanging? As a casual player who wants to get serious about the game without a ton of time, what's the best way to improve quickly? Ranked. Where can I find good people to play with? My IRL friends don't play games. Trial and error. I'm not a very good person to ask about where to find people to play with. You could try looking for teams in the competitive Overwatch Discord, the Overwatch University Discord. Maybe competitive Overwatch doesn't have it anymore. And the one of those two will, or maybe the Elo Hell Discord. Let me shoot me a message over Discord, and I'll get you invites to those Discords. I have way more hours in DPS and only recently started tank, but I've enjoyed tank lately more recently. Okay, especially Winston. Okay, fair enough. You're doing good. Hey, Duck. Good to see you, mate. Ha. Cheers, Faramind. Still the greatest of all time, and nobody in chat knows just how dominant my reign was. Ah, the greatest. Okay, let's take a look here. So I like to do replay reviews, and I like to ask questions during the replay reviews for chat as well. So stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen. Winston creates space. How does Winston create space? How does Winston tank? Your old vets in chat should know. Somebody who may not know, don't hesitate to throw your 2 cents in. Procrastination, disaster. Pressure backline, sure. Bubble, yeah. Pew pew, yeah. The way pushing people away from off angles, bubble to block, cannibal. Yo, what's up, Cosmic? Good to see you, mate. Yeah, so basically, here's how tanks create space as a whole. Is you pick a hero that you are good at 1v1ing at its most fundamental level. Tanking is 1v1ing for team goals. You do run max sensitivity. Ooh, I didn't even think about that. Don't do that. So here's what you want to be doing, okay? So let's talk about effective DPI. Let me pull this up here really fast. Going to leak here. All right. This is how it works. DPI, find this in your mouse settings like a program. So for me, I have a Logitech mouse. So I pull up my Logitech mouse and then I go to my mouse settings here right now. And then it tells DPI sensitivity levels. Now, if you don't have a Logitech mouse, you will need to Google the type of mouse that you have and how to check the DPI you have. And Miggins, thank you for the sub, mate. Hope you're doing well. Then from there, you're going to go in-game, and you're going to take that number, which was 1600 for me, and you're going to look at what now this is not 2 for me. It's actually 1.75. It's only 2 because I'm in the replay viewer. And then you're going to multiply that. So DPI times sensitivity. And so it's going to be 2 for my replay viewer sensitivity. Let's say 2 times 1600 equals 3200 DPI. Or we'll say effective DPI. Okay? EDPI. All right? Okay, hey Noah. So for a newer player, most heroes should be in the 4 to 5K or even let's say 6K department. Now, if you're playing strictly tank, you could get away with 6K plus. If you're playing strictly like a hit scan on a Zen, anything that's a little bit more static, you can get away with less than 4K or 4K, like less than 4K, right? So less than 4K. My effective EDPI is, I believe, what is mine at? I think mine is around 2800. I think that's what I actually play on, 2800. So mine is very low for, like, let's say if I were to play a lot of Genji, a lot of Tracer, a lot of Tank, it is a little bit low. So what you need to find out is you need to find your DPI. What about console though? So console settings are different. Console settings are console rewards higher sensitivity more because you lose precision but gain the ability to move quickly. So the problem with console is let me give you guys, so this is something that maybe you guys in chat who don't play console don't think about, right? If I do this, like I can quickly like boop, 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 you know what I'm saying? Like, right? But console, you can't. You're limited by holding the controller all the way in one direction. So you can't, it doesn't work, right? So with console, having a higher sensitivity isn't as bad, right? Because you might need that higher sensitivity. Now, here's the thing. When it comes to the minutia of console and what the best settings are for console, I am not the guy to ask. You need to go, what I would do is I would look up a YouTube video. I'd look up 2 or 3 YouTube videos, best settings for console, and try to find a balance, and then find the balance between that and what actually has worked in your case. That's what I would go into. So anyway, let's keep going here. So you run max sensitivity. That might not be a bad thing for console. I have absolutely no idea. But I would investigate it. The thing with settings is settings are important enough to look at once in depth, in detail, and then when they never look at again. You don't want to be constantly tweaking your sensitivity. You want to figure out what's the best sensitivity, good enough for you, and then stick with it. Hopefully it's a good video. All right, check it out then. So we want pressure on backline, 1v1s on backline, at the same time as your team is taking a fight. You see, right now, if you were to jump directly in Soldier, that's a good target, but a bad time. And the reason why that's the case is because all of the attention that you're going to focus on yourself by having, hey, I'm going to kill you, Soldier, right? Nobody else in your team is doing anything else. So you're going to get your cooldowns forced because you're 1 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or at least soon to be, and it's not going to work. You might do the right thing, but at the wrong time. For example, this bubble is blocking damage from this Genji. But you don't want to be using your cooldowns right now because your team isn't ready yet. They're ready. Now we're fighting. Do you see this? Now we're starting to peak and we're starting to shoot the Rhine and do damage, right? And you're out. You're out. So you need to be, this would be a good time to go in where your team can shoot Rhine Shield and punish Rhine, or shoot Moira, or shoot Genji, or your Tracer can help you in the flank. Even if they can't help the same target as you, they're at least doing something at the same time as you. If you're curious about the rank, always look at the bottom left hand of my screen. I almost always update that one. I've been getting better. Good use of your right click here. You have your bubble again. Let's go. Yes. The problem here is you don't lock into a target. Winston is not a difficult mechanical tank for the most part. But if you are not locking down a target on your jump engage, you've just used the bubble and you've used your jump and you did 0 damage with it. Inexcusable. The bubble itself is honestly fine. The fact that you were not actually able to get and damage the Soldier or the Mercy or the Genji or the Moira is inexcusable. You need to actually damage people, because even if this guy doesn't die, if you zap him and he has to run all the way and grab a mega health pack because you zapped him, you waste more of his time. You force more healing resources his way. So many Winstons that I coach, console or PC, get really lazy with their tracking and aren't like that. You cannot do that in this hero. You use a jump, you use a bubble at a good time, at a good target, but you don't even freaking shoot anybody. Can't happen. And now you don't have bubble, so you need to be very careful about even this, right? You need to be very careful. Even though he's discorded, you don't do very well versus a Reinhardt in a 1v1, and you definitely don't do well versus any sort of pressure when you don't have bubble. You're about to die. Winston. Yes. I tend to lose people when I jump even on D.Va and Genji, then you need to keep practicing. So if you really like your dive tanks, then you need to keep practicing. I understand that there are limitations with console, but you need to keep practicing. Who should he go for? I think Soldier was fine. Soldier was the fine target there. He's the easiest kill, right? Has the least amount of mobility compared to the rest of the team, so it's going to be the most amount of damage you're going to be able to get. So fine, don't use your bubble here. Don't use your bubble here. You need to go for squishies. So don't peek, hide, get healed, then jump and go get a kill on the Soldier or Genji or Mercy or Moira. I wouldn't say a high sense is a bad thing. Depending on the tank the hero that you're playing, it's just probably not optimal for some heroes. What heroes do you main? What heroes do you main? Because 90% of sensitivity is preference. Yeah, like I said, you don't do very well in that 1v1. Now, thankfully he pins you, tries to pin you off the map, but if he pinned you into a wall, you would have died, but yeah. Yeah, console is just harder to move with console. There's just more limitations with it. Fine. Hide. Now you don't have bubble, so be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. I'm telling you, Vine. Bubble is everything. You absolutely can. You can engage without bubble, but you got to be so careful. You got to be so careful. So you did not have enough HP, nor was this Moira low enough to justify jumping like this. I coached another, by the way, I coached a console player yesterday, and the guy climbed the Masters. The Lucio player was actually phenomenal mechanically. Lucio. Every console player that transitions to PC does really well. I mainly play some port like Ana, a bit of BAP, some Zen Moira. I would say, Quagga, your sensitivity is too high. If you have enough space on your mouse pad, I would say it's healthier for your wrist to adjust your sensitivity to something under 8,000. And then after that, it's totally up to you. 4,000, 3,000, 6,000, doesn't matter. Up to you. It doesn't make enough of a difference to matter. Bad 1v1 for you. I might have mentioned that once or twice before. If he's one, you know, you can jump him, but yeah. Okay. Next bubble, I want us going in on a squishy. In on a squishy. In on a squishy. What's the problem? What's the problem, guys? This doesn't even need to be said, but I feel like it needs to be said. What's the problem? Linear ramp lets you turn on a dime. Okay, something to kind of keep in mind, Noah. No bubble, right. Now, you do have primal. You have primal, so you can cheat, but here's what I want you to do. Whenever you can, try to make sure that you have primal, or a bubble when you primal, so that you can jump, land, bubble, zap, get a ton of damage, and then primal after that, right? Because you're about to get your bubble, and like, look at this, you almost have it. You might as well just wait for your bubble. Your bubble allows you to do more damage, so you might as well wait 3 seconds and then primal after the bubble, right? You could do both, right? Now, it ends up not needing it, so that's good. But you almost get it. And I will say a lot of the time, when you place the bubble is a little messy too. So you're going for this mercy. I'm good with that. But why are we bubbling back here and then jumping over here, right? I'm telling you, this hero is not as easy as it looks. Even if we don't even factor in hard counters and all the Reapers and Bastions that you're gonna run into. By the way, I freaking played Winston on this map last night. We were about to have dinner and I just finished working. And at like 10 minutes, I was like, cute quick play game, just for fun. And they went Reaper, Torbjorn, Moira, Junker Queen. I'm like, and it was so funny because watching them run around the map, chasing me and feeding as we're winning team fights because they're inting their brains out trying to chase me. It's just, it's honestly like, it's not even irritating because I know how to play around it easily and they were terrible at those heroes, but it's like, it's kind of pathetic. It's like, gosh, guys, come on, like just play what you want to play. I don't know. Okay, look for squishies. What is this bubble blocking? I would just leave. Yeah, but I'm too good. I don't care about it. Ask chat. I'm the greatest Winston of all time. You don't give a rip. You go Reaper Bastion. You guys remember that Hollywood game? It was absolutely legendary. Shatter, right. So here's the question. Why are you close enough to the Rhine to block Shatter? Get out of here. Great, exactly. Greatest of all time. Miro has nothing on Spiro. Miro who? Yeah. Best Winston I've ever seen. Thank you guys. I appreciate that. Your checks will be in the mail. Okay. But yeah, this is nothing. Look at your team. We're kind of fighting right now, so you can absolutely go in. But why are we standing here? Jump in. Go in. Or let them come through a little bit closer and then jump in and bubble, right? Where's my bubble? Wish he'd had a bubble. I wish he had a bubble. Don't peel his Winston. One of the most, okay, pardon me for using this zoomer. It's not even a zoomer word anymore. I don't even know what it classifies as anymore. But one of the most Papega takes that I have ever read on the Reddit. And sadly, I had to read it because, again, we talked about the self-promotion rules. I have to post in competitive Overwatch like 8 times so that I could put my weekly post on the video promo. Anyway, long story short, was the San Francisco Shock, man, the tank line, they never peel for their back line. the team that plays Winston and Ramatra, your hero doesn't do that. You don't do that. The way that you peel for your backline is to make sure that their backline doesn't hurt your backline. You don't peel for your Reinhardt, right? Winston doesn't exactly murder Tracer Sombras and Winston's. He hurts the enemy backline. You trade. You protect. For example, the way that you peel your backline, it says, soldier, you're not allowed to shoot my supports. So what you do here is bad, because you should either kill or keep these guys. Watch what happens as soon as our Winston leaves. Watch these little blue orbs. Dun, 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 dun. You see it? They just go, well, don't mind if I do. You know, like, you know, they just walk forward, and now they're the ones killing your team. Your Mercy ends up pocketing the person that you were peeling on. That's the crazy thing. So, like, here's the thing. If you were jumping this because you're like, oh, Moira's in my backline, I can easily kill her. That's fine. You know, it's fine with me. But I don't know if that's what you're doing. I think you heard all the shenanigans behind, and you're like, well, I gotta protect my team. That's not your job. That's not your job. Your job is to create space and to protect your team by making the other scary people busy worried about you. That's how you protect your team. Even heroes like Diva don't do that most of the time. And again, this Reinhardt is like an old friend. Oh, hi, Reinhardt. Hitting me again. Yeah. That, Here we go. Alright, find the squishy, jump in with bubble. Is now a good time to go, ladies and gentlemen. Let's not forget the very first thing that we talked about in this VOD review. Is now a good time to go. My supports always complain that I don't protect them. Do I just ignore them then? Yes, you do. That's the best thing. You ignore them.
Hey, why don't you play a shield tank? How come you never peel? Why don't you go get off a monkey? Here's a knife.
Shut up! That's what you do. Okay. Okay, so what I want to know is now a good time to jump. The answer is no. Because of this. But very soon, you will want to go. Right? Even now, like let's say your soldier starts to peek this, and you're like, ah, crap. You know, we should be waiting for Moira, but okay, now you need to go. So let's go. But why are we going on Reinhardt? Right. Why are we going on Reinhardt? Why are we not jumping the Genji or Mercy or Moira or Soldier? Those are threats that I can help more with. There's exceptions. Sometimes you can block a shatter, but sometimes, right? Very, very small percentage. I don't let your team get shattered. Make sure this guy doesn't get a big tactical visor off on your team instead. Get him. Slap him in the mouth. I don't know. Now I'm flaming you, Noah. But these things are not obvious. You know, it's like, oh well, duh. Well, it's because I've been doing this game for forever. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. You're diamond on a game that you started playing in season 2. Like that should be an absolute. The rest of the console players should be ashamed of themselves that you're already better than the vast majority of them, and you just showed up. Stop looking at Reinhardt though. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. Alcer, thank you for the sub. Alright, I want to see, where's my team? Are we ready to fight on anything? And then a jump on the squishy with bubble. No. Don't do it. Because it's not just, oh, you need to play selfishly to carry. You need to play selfie. See, here's the thing. There's a lot of pessimistic guys out there, like Overwatch streamers and stuff, that are like, you know, to rank up, you just need to play for yourself, dude. You just need to do whatever you want to do. You know, no. You play for your hero is what you do. It is selfless. It is kind and considerate and sweet and loving and kind of you for you to not peel this Reinhardt. It is selfless and kind and considerate for you to jump the soldier and help your team by preventing the Genji, right? You can help with this. Because you do a lot of damage to this guy. He's a squishy, right? So you do a lot of damage. He doesn't got that annoying armor. And also, oh, hey, look at their mercy, right? That is sweet and kind and helpful of you. This is how you help your team. You should try to help your team. But the way you help your team is by playing to your hero's strengths, not by playing to your hero's weaknesses. This is a weakness of Winston, is zapping the enemy tank. I mean, we talked about this. I made a video about this, right? It was like, you know, what would you do if you're playing Widowmaker? Do you jump in the middle of the enemy team and start SMGing them to help your tank line? No, you sit in the back and you play for yourself. That's how you help your team. So this is nice, but oh no, this is how you're gonna lose this fight. You want to peel your team, do it on a target that you can actually kill. You're not. I mean, I'm not going to say anything about that jump. Obviously, it was horrible, but you know, you're trying to help by focusing the enemy tank, but your hero is horrible at that. Most tanks in Overwatch ignore each other. Sometimes, if it's a Ryan versus Ryan, they have to smash into each other's heads, right? Because the intention is to get for the enemy backline, but that other Reinhardt's getting in the way, so they keep hitting each other trying to get to the enemy backline. But if you're playing a dive tank, that's the advantage of your dive tank, is you can skip the tank war. You can go wherever you want. Okay, let's keep looking here. Pebble, do you have any, or Noah, do you have any questions here? Any questions? Does anyone in chat have any questions specifically about what we're talking about here? Okay, cheers. I mean, it's surprisingly simple, but that's what we want. Surprisingly simple is what we want. We don't want anything complicated. We want something that's easy to remember and something that we can actually just practice in game. Now, Winston is a surprisingly simple but hard tank to play. He is one of the most difficult tanks to play at a higher level, because doing this against teams that counter you is hard, but the goal is still the same. You're still looking for squishies, you're still going out at a good time. Why is high ground good? Because you can avoid the freaking Reinhardt. Look at this jackass. Yeah, what are you doing, loser? Look at this guy. He's got a freaking cardboard for skin. What is this jackass doing? Look at this guy. He's like a 5-year-old. Look, just go right past him. Go for the Moira. Go for the Genji. Go for the Soldier. Go for the Mercy. Let's see what you got. The fight is starting now, so you can absolutely go in whenever you want. Yeah, get her. She just used Fade. Get her. Too slow. Too late. And now you're on the tank again. Bum ba da bum 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 ba da bum 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 ba da bum 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 ba da bum 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 ba da bum bum. Yep. Launched. Right, so we go high ground. You can jump to high ground, count 1, 2, drop, and you'll have your bubble by the time that you actually need it. Sure. Get on that squishy. Get her. Yeah! Look at all the panic that you're causing, right? Almost. A little bit better with your right clicks here too as well. Don't need to bubble that nobody was shooting you. Instead, have your bubble once you actually jump in your next time, because you're about to jump in again. You're playing in Ring Around the Rosie, but you know what? This is already better than what we've seen. Next squishy. Find her. Yeah, buddy! Lightweight! Yeah, next squishy. You're gonna die. Get out of here. Get. Oh! This is our best fight so far. Hey, Striker. What's good? Not your personality. Keep going. You got bubbles still. Find a squishy. Find him. Don't just drop your bubble. Look for a squishy. No. Where's Moira? Where's Moira? Where's Moira? Stop, stop. Where's Mercy? Where's Moira? Stop, stop, stop. Oh, we were so proud of you. We were so proud of you, and you disappointed us. Oh my gosh. Our hack. Thank you for the gifted subs. Sparrow, Thrill, Reviews, ID, Matt. Thank you so much for the subs, man. I appreciate it. You've been nothing but nice to you, but okay, Spell. Dabbing on the haters. Yes! Appreciate the gifted subs, man. That's super generous of you. You guys have been so nice with the gifted subs the last few months. Honestly, it's so good. My Maserati is, like, really appreciative of your donations. Let's keep going. How far are we in here? Yeah. Okay, let's go. We can watch a few more fights. We got time. Yeah, I got time. Your tracer's going in, so if you wanted to go in, you could. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stay on that, Genji. There you go. There you go. Good. Next target. Yep, stay on her. Good, 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 good. Even if she doesn't die, look at all that. Look at all that. Good. Yeah, yeah! God, nice. Nice. Guys, did you see this flick? Look at this flick. Watch this flick. Let's go. Keep going. Keep going. You got primal if you want. You got primal. Find that squishy. Don't do it. Don't do it. Get him. Yes. Okay. Don't bubble. I know you're low, but don't bubble. Find the Winston. Find the Mercy. Stop. Stop. Find the Winston. Find the Mercy. Find the Mercy. Find the Mercy. What is that meme format? When they have like the 2 IQ person, and then there's like the angry like middle IQ person, and then there's a really high IQ person. Locky, thank you so much for the sub. Speaking of console players, yo, what's up, Zon? How you going, man? Long time no chat. What's that meme format? Like the P brain, the medium brain, and the big brain, the IQ spectrum meme format, the bell curve. Wait. Come on, man. Pull up. Pull up. Yeah. I found it. Okay, here's what we're gonna do. Here we go. No. Yeah, see, why is it always impact? Not be. Yeah. Not career. And then no outline. And then all caps, no. Wait, can I copy this? Oh, not yet. Okay, why is there even another text box there? This is the meme here. This is the meme. There it is. You don't get it. That's because you're this guy. Your meme was better. Long time no chat, and you get yeah. Yeah, I hope that my point is made. Let's watch one more good solid fight here. Maybe we'll finish out this round. Stay in the game. Ah, see, what are you bubbling? What are you bubbling? What are you bubbling here? No, I lied, Gregor. I was hoping that I would dodge you on stream, but yeah, no, my doctor's appointment got rescheduled, so we're good to go. Stay on the Genji. Stay on the Genji. But again, what are you bubbling here? Because, like, you could go into this fight and then bubble these guys, bubble off their healing, but you don't have bubble yet, you see? You don't have bubble. Now you have bubble. Maybe. Don't just plant your bubble. Don't just plant your bubble. Walk into this Torbjorn's jaw and now plant your bubble if you want to. Okay. Would be the Jedi on the right. Okay. Noah, Pebble, Winston, do you have any questions? I'm going to type up a short list of things for you to work on, but I'm going to ask if you have any questions first. Does anybody in chat have any questions about Winston? Winston, don't ask about my hair, my workout routine, skincare routine, diet routine, favorite beetle, favorite Spice Girl. How do I deal with counters like in the next round they run Torbjorn Reaper? Well, you know what? Screw it. Let's watch one fight. You're zapping a Winston. Problem number one. But you know what? They still have a Moira. They still have a Mercy. And honestly, Torbjorn's not even a bad target to jump. As long as you have bubble, you can force pocket, you can force overload, reset, then jump again. If you play it well, you'll get bubble back right before he gets overload. So for you here, your first mistake is once again, you're not going for the squishies. See, the problem with the Winston counters, like Reaper and Torbjorn, is first off, you can choose to avoid them more often than not and jump squishies. And that they will have to chase you around the map. They don't stop you from taking high grounds or flanks or jumping their squishies. Winston counters punish them if you don't hide when you don't have bubble. If you jump without bubble, they'll punish you. And they punish you more if you just stand out in the open. Just go high ground, drop on the Mercy and Moira. Go high ground, jump on the Torbjorn. Here's the simplest answer I have for you for playing versus counters. Avoid them and go for the other people instead. And make sure that you're not standing there and taking damage. Like right now, you don't have jump, you don't have bubble, Torbjorn's on you, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. You gotta get out. Out. Run. All the way out. Don't stand here and poke. That's how Reaper's gonna kill you. Don't bubble off the Winston. Because now you gotta be jumping back to high ground, going for that Mercy. Jumping on that high ground, going for the Moira. Jumping up on the Torbjorn, right? You're trading with monkeys. The reason why most Winstons struggle is they don't know how to avoid or jump away from the targets that counter them, and they sit there and trade tanks. So what I'm telling you to do will help you even into counters. I legitimately played Winston on this map and had this exact same situation, and I just jumped and avoided them. Landed on the back lane. Zap, 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 zap. They all ran like chickens. Try to chase me down. I'm like, okay, see ya. Peace. Waste your time chasing me. Meanwhile, my DPS and my supports are under zero pressure whatsoever. The more focus and attention that they put onto you, and you survive, and still do pressure on the backline, the more your team is available. Now, that does mean that sometimes you're going to lose games because the team sucks, so they just miss their shots. But more often than not, counters to Winston are not counters if you play it well. Now, this hero is hard, and countering the counters is hard, but I hope at least you have an idea. When do you counter dive the enemy tank? Almost never. Almost never. If them chasing me is still helping your team. Right, so you need to use your mobility, though. You need to create some distance. Get on that Torbjorn. If you jump this Torbjorn and that Reaper tries to chase you, if you jump in this Mercy and that Reaper or Torbjorn try to chase you, that they're wasting time. That your team can capitalize, and you're still zapping squishies at the same time. And then when your bubble's broken and you're about to jump out, just completely disengage. Hide. Don't let them shoot you. I know I'm making it sound easy. It's not, but that's at least what you're trying to accomplish. When do I counter dive? You don't. If by counter diving you mean dive the enemy tank on your backline, you don't. Almost ever. Also, Reaper can lose if he doesn't have Wraith and you have Bubble in my experience. Yes. Skill matchup, but yes. Okay. Do you have any other questions before we get into our illegal VOD review? What makes it illegal? You'll find out. Stay tuned. How am I doing today? I'm doing well. How about you? Winston is quite strong right now, but Winston scales with skill, unlike some characters that are easier. I think Winston is fine, personally. Junker Queen is overtuned, but Winston is fine. I think Ram's value is easier, yeah. Ha, Striker's Position. Thank you, Striker's Position. I appreciate that. Did you also know that I have a Patreon? Did you also know that I have a bank account which you can directly send all of your funds from work directly into? Also, credit card numbers, social security numbers, life savings. I would recommend taking out a life insurance policy and putting it out in my name. I think Junker Queen needs to have her ult generation while her ult is active needs to be nerfed, and the multiplier on her healing reduced to like 1.5. Okay. If you have any other questions, Noah, shoot me a message anytime with any questions that you may have, and I'm going to type up a short list of things to work on. Is my team ready / already shooting the enemy team? If so, jump a squishy with bubble. Optimally a squishy that's good, easier to kill, and preferably near cover, so that even if you don't get the kill, you can jump out and hide until your next bubble for your next dive. Generally, trading tank lines isn't what Winston is strong. When countered, play to avoid jump onto targets away from your counters. And if you have any questions, you just message me. You're very welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time. Time for the illegal. You see, I noticed something. Somebody in my direct messages very kindly alerted me to a certain Overwatch League team that posted a point of view of their player on YouTube. And you see, that's not technically allowed. At least not really. So I'm gonna analyze it because I'm not using the replay viewer. So I'm gonna be analyzing the execution of the composition and the POV from here. And we'll see what Overwatch League does about it.
And you can see.
I don't believe necessarily in throwing the middle finger up. I think that's a rude gesture. But if I was a lesser man, I would be doing that right now. let's take a look at some professional Hanzo play. I spoke with another social media manager for a team that I will not elaborate on, and they said that technically the league isn't very happy about it, and supposedly this is this is skirting the rules. So, you know, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm aware of Slugger. But see, I'm not just going to look at the POV, I'm going to analyze the POV. And what are they going to do? I'm not using the replay viewer.
That's exactly what they're gonna look for, and you know what?
Okay, so for context for you guys who don't know, Gladiators lose to Justice, which was a big upset. Now, you guys may not follow the Overwatch League, but this was a big upset, okay? This team doesn't have as good of a record or as many big bucks players. And one of the pop-off players on this match, if not the most pop-off player on this match, was Flora. Ace Boys. Hey, it's been a week. So, what we're going to take a look at is we're going to take a look at Flora's positioning, Flora's cooldown usage. Obviously, we'll freak out on the mechanics, right? When the pop-off shots are hit. But we're going to be able to learn something about how Flora's actually doing here. Okay, let's take a look here.
And Gladiators excel at being able to do that.
Now they have the caster's overlay, but I'm probably going to turn that down because this was overlaid on top of the in-game sounds. So Sonic on Dante, there's the off angle. Okay, guys, there he is. He needs to be careful about peeking too early because they're waiting for the Ramacha to come back. Now, this is a little bit weird. I would have expected a wider swing and more pressure this direction to keep the backline from Gladiators honest. Even just to kind of keep Kai honest. I'm surprised that he's putting himself here because the sightline for this position isn't very good. Because what you're going to generally see is little things like FD God where teams are going to push out and try to take one of these three off angles to try and push out and poke out the tank, stuffing the choke here. Hey, Ballify. Huge shot. Huge shot. Does he have Sonic information off of that shot? Yes, he does. Ooh, nice. And notice, by the way, when this angle is taken, when he pushes out, his Ram has walked forward, and that's when he's going up. Because right now, there's a lot of targets for Kai to be shooting. Corner peeking Afayi, Mirror, and the Lucio over here. That's when it's really good to take duels, because it's really hard for Kai to just go, focus on the Hanzo duel. There's so many things on the Hanzo screen. What says Diamond in the bottom left, by the way? Maybe we'll bump it up, depending on what the level of play is. What do you guys think? Maybe deserves the Masters? And then now you just need to shoot tank. Like, you don't even have to... Oh! Oh! Wow, that was good. Need to start bronze? That's true. That's true. Flora has shown us nothing, but you know what? He hit a couple of nice shots, so we'll bump him up to silver. Silver for now. All right, we'll keep going. All right. So Hanzo on this is really powerful in brawl mirrors because right now, Cassidy's just been recently obviously hard nerfed. Ashe isn't particularly strong. She's also received that minor Bob nerf, and the verticality of this map is really, really nice. And that's something that Hanzo has literally off of cooldown. He can wall climb whenever he wants. He is a little bit weaker to dive because even though Storm Arrow is pretty good versus like flankers and Lunge is kind of helpful, he's a little bit fragile. So you've been seeing some teams run Sojourn here. I don't like the Sojourn. I talked with... I've been asking around, trying to find a pattern of like what's the Sojourn versus Hanzo thing. Sojourn is good versus dive because she has the shift, right? That shift is really, really powerful. But in the raw Ramacha Brawl Mirror, even with like speed boosted Ramacha ultimate, I don't think Hanzo is too fragile. Polyfy, thanks for the sub, mate. I do think the Hanzo is better in the Brawl Mirror, especially on this map. There's enough space. Now, hitscan as a whole is a little bit weak right now. This is where a lot of teams have been playing Sombra, but I think for a team like New York who has a phenomenal hit scan, and they don't have Lip on Sombra, just play Hanzo. Hanzo's good. Notice, by the way, that he's not taking an angle. No point to, because the fight hasn't started yet. Get a little bit extra payload push. Voider, Elf, thanks for the sub. Aspire loves the Sojourn. Yeah, that's more of a team flavor thing. Now, there are a few things that we can do with Hanzo here, Okay? You can shoot choke. You can go for RNG wall climb peaks off of your Ramatra push and look for a pick on backline. Or you can wrap around through this window and look for a flank on their Hanzo here. Stuff like this is why Hanzo is played, but stuff like this is also why, hear me out, Sombra is played. Because you see how like some of these options either feel like really risky or like kind of crappy. Like there's not a lot to see here. And that's why a lot of teams have been playing heroes like Sombra, right? That being said, I do expect once FD God gets back that Flora will probably try either a pot shot here or he will try to take an off angle around through this window, because sitting here and shooting tank is just, it's just Dante just starts taking damage, so Dante hides behind the corner, and then it just rinse and repeat. They have to find a way to break this choke. So the idea is going to walk forward on the tank line there, but you can see like the angle here isn't very good. So what is he going to do? Wait, where does he put Sonic here? So he drops Sonic on corner, and that might be allowing them to burst down the Mei. But I would have preferred Sonic, I think, here to enable him. Because remember, Sonic can give you the information that you can know about whether you want to peek or not. And you see that he's thinking about it. Both he and Kai are thinking about it, you know? You see that? And now he's thinking about the flank. Okay, but this is why you would want a Sonic here and not here. Because the information here isn't as useful. It will allow your Ramatra to kind of burst down their Mei around the corner. But I think this is a misuse of Sonic from Flora. Yeah, very sloppy. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't have chat for a brief moment. Chat, that's fine. Oh, wait, what? What? So yeah, Sonic here. He doesn't even get it in time. Bro, look at this shot. Holy cow. What? I'm sorry, we have to go this down. Oh my gosh, dude, I didn't even see Lastro. Look at this. The man just flicks it and just whammo, and then right back in the Mei. Holy cow, man. Oh, you're good, you're good, you're good. If you guys have any questions about Storm Arrow, the simplest answer that I can give you is just use it in 1v1s, just for quick burst. You won't see it. You can sometimes see it in Overwatch 1 for shield pressure, but shields being broken is less of a priority in Overwatch 2 with how important like angles and flanks and DPS duels are. And also when like the Ramatra shield just doesn't break anyway. It doesn't last long enough to break. So generally you're not going to see shield pressure here. Yeah, I didn't even know Lastro was up there. It's freaking wild, man. Okay, let's keep going. So I assume he's gonna, yes, he's gonna Sonic top right, give some information. If this was ranked, you might see him rolling the dice and peeking here, but it's probably too risky. They just need to get the cap. That's why he's on cart. Then now he's thinking, do I need to back up? Do I need to back up? No, I don't need to back up. Okay. Again, the Sonic probably on the window at some point. He might also Sonic the right area here, but that's probably not necessary. But you also notice, by the way, that like while we have seen a sloppy Sonic from him, there hasn't really been a need to Sonic just yet. So there's a Sonic now that we're actually like starting to take space, and then that's going to give information. And love you. Now here's the cute thing. All right. I haven't paid a ton of attention to Flora's positioning in this map, so a lot of this is just kind of guesswork. I would say maybe Sonic here, and then if I see Hanzo, that means I can wall climb and go for an RNG pick here. The only risk is that maybe if like, I don't know, Kevster's smoking crack that he walls this off and doesn't let me get back out again. I don't know. Maybe we use that to go for a right. We might even not need to. Okay, yeah, they don't. Yeah, oh, but wait. Why does he wall? What's the... Oh, they did it to Teru. Oh, I'm like, why are they walling that? Look, Teru tries what I thought Flora would do. Kevster catches him with his pants down. And then Teru has to lamp. Ooh. Why is Bat played here, for example, over Ana? You could get decent Ana value, but Ramatra is just so survivable. The sleep and nade is like, you can just honestly Nemesis form and block through it. The sleep, and Ana, Bat has like better shield pressure, better longer sustain. The ultimate is really, really good. That kind of a thing. Notice the timing here from New York. 3, 2, 1. Dragon, speed, blizzard. This blizzard, the dragon will create a split from gladiators. Then we're gonna see a wall and a blizzard fall up on the front line of the tank. Huge. Oh. 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 Anyone want to guess where Kai? Oh, sorry, Washington. Does anyone want to guess where Kai Sonic was? Anyone want to guess where Kai Sonic was? So he uses the Sonic so that he can set up his dragon better. But because he... by the way, this is so morbid. He uses the Sonic so he can set up the dragon better. A very important thing that you guys should be doing in ranked. Okay? But because he uses the Sonic to set up the dragon, he doesn't have the Sonic to set up the duel. So he loses the duel. This is not the Lucio. The Ramacha benefits from the Lucio from being able to speed on backline, and this is something that Washington does a lot. Mirror with Lucio, the guy was in the middle of the Gladiators backline, and you can't do that without a Lucio, even with Ramacha's speed boost. This isn't really a poke composition. You would see if you're playing more poke spam, you would not see the Mei, and you would not see the Lucio. You would see something like a Sigma. You wouldn't see the Ram either. You'd see like a Sigma. You'd see like maybe a Tracer or a Widowmaker, right? Maybe an Ashe. You'd see maybe like a Zenyatta, right? Looking more to close the distance with the enemy team. And the sightlines on this map are pretty long, but there's also a lot of nasty chokes. So that's where like the brawl compositions do really good. So Flora needs to be careful. Gonna grab Mega, he's by himself. He's gonna Sonic that window, and then now based off that information, he can kind of choose what he wants to do here. Okay. Now he's gotta be careful here. Turn on your thinking caps. Hey, what's up? Where's Kai's Sonic? One of two places. Either on this right corner here or up here. Let's see what happens.
I think Gladiators thought that they had a little bit more control of the
You can see Flora's like thinking about it, right? Thinking about it. He's thinking about it. He's thinking about it. Wait, is Kai there? No, Kai's not there. Where is Kai? Is Kai on this flank? Do you see this, guys? Do you see the thought processes going through his brain? This is so much fun to watch. I did not catch the contingent get banger, no. Sadly. Look at that. He's like, sure, he's not over there. Is he over there? Oh yeah, I'm dropping the illegal VOD reviews. I snitch on Justice, and then I steal their content. I'm pretty much I'm pretty much just honestly like a gangbanger now. Crazy shot from Kai through the cart. That's crazy.
What you want to see out of Kai so far for the Glads? They do at least one more team fight win. 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Nice 3.
The illegal joke. All right, I'm gonna say this one more time. The replay viewer use is restricted. You're not supposed to release POVs, overheads, or analytical work. So Justice doesn't release anything analytical. They just release their full POV, which is technically allowed, they think. However, the problem with that is nothing stopping me from taking their content and making analytical work about it, because I don't have the replay viewer. I'm not using the replay viewer. I'm just using other people's use of the replay viewer. So the strategy here is to get somebody to post an innocent replay POV, and then somebody else makes an analytical here. No problem.
And now he's gonna make it look so dated.
Oh no! What? Yeah, I mean it's fine, you know. I'm gonna be pulling some strings. Listen, we're gonna set up a POV black market. Message to some of the you know, oh, this is just a shock POV, you know, our player, $5 for the unlisted YouTube link. You know what I'm saying? That shot does make him flat. That's true. We should that's crazy. Now here's the thing with Hanzo. Everybody knows with Hanzo there is an element of luck, but you have to be able to. like anything with projectile is luck, right? You maybe Astro strafes the other way, but there is a certain amount of prediction, and like you have to predict, and not only predict well, but also put your prediction accurately, right?
He looks so dangerous. He literally gets such a good.
Get in, yeah. I'll see what I can do here. You know?
Flora just comes in and
Some of the little crack, little meth, a little proper POV. You never know. Little zest tracer. You know. I hear mag POVs are going for like 50 quid. There again, you notice the Sonic priority is almost always on the Hanzo, right? Like you don't generally need information about where the brawl core is. It can be helpful for you to line up shots, but like the priority when the Hanzo is on a better angle is to make sure that you know where that Hanzo angle is here.
To spawn, but now Kai, Sonic arrowed at his positioning, kind of given away. Doesn't have a lot of support there. Ant Matrix in the main. Again,
do you see what Hanzo does with that angle? Like this is why Shambali is brutal, right? It's like these chokes are just brutal. You could have Flora take the left flank, but it probably would have taken too long. You gotta say credits. We could just make up our own currency. Zoe bangers. Ring-a-ding dongs. You guys have your... Did you bring your ring-a-ding dongs, guys? I didn't think so, you morons. Oh boy. Now, cash your bets, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a full criminal on stream here. Alright? Does Flora double back left, or does he rotate with his team here? Toppin Zavad? Yeah. What do you guys think? I don't know. I honestly don't know. I think probably left. Yeah. Oh, he gets the Sonic. He spooks him. He tickles her giblets. No, he's gonna wrap. He's gonna wrap all the way right, isn't he? He is gonna wrap all the way right. Oh no, Flora. Okay, so this isn't a mistake necessarily. However, you can see that he doesn't have the Sonic in time for the duel, man. He just doesn't have it. So, like, this is technically a neutral duel because Kai obviously doesn't have information on him either. But the problem here is the crosshair placement. Look at the crosshair placement, right? It's not there in time. He's not able to adjust in time. Back to gold. Back to gold. Terrible. You know, everyone talks about Flora this match, and Flora did play really well this match, but don't forget Kai played pretty darn well too. Do we know that Kai didn't have it Sonic? We don't, but also the distance that Flora was at was where Sonic would not have reached that far. I'm like 99.987432% sure. I have no idea, Debbie. I have no idea. I predicted something legal, but I don't care. There's no excuse for the lack of communication. Let's put it that way. There's no excuse. I understand if there's limitations that are just like weird, you know, like legal stuff, but like there's just no excuse for like zero communication about it. Sonic is there. Dragon is there. You notice that they immediately go for the dragon? Wait, what? Bro, this guy is just straight hacking, and he's not even trying to hide it. This guy is straight hacking. Okay, so they dragon beat, rush the Hanzo. This is one of the ways that Sojourn can be better in these messy, massive ult fights where people are like running at each other at 1,000,000,000 miles per hour. Having a Sojourn with a shift is really, really nice, right? But bro, look at this shot. This is like the cool guy in the action movie. He shoots out the dragon. He's like, oh, there's the Hanzo. Just let it go. Prediction shot, and then I'm gonna go look at what's over here, what actually deserves my attention. That's just wild, bro. That's like the second time he's had like these fadeaway shots. He just like completely doesn't even look at the shot. That's so wild. Alright, now he needs to be careful. He can't get too greedy here. Because this is how Hanzo is very fragile in this match. I mean, he needs to get away from card, honestly. He needs to be careful. Alright, now he's fine. Clean him up, boys. Did Kai not get beat? It doesn't look like it, no. No, he did not in time. And this was a consistent issue for Gladiators. Gladiators, like, I won't go into the macro here, but like, Gladiators lost like every single big fat ult trade. Pretty much. Now we just RNG dice roll. Surely somebody hits a headshot.
to come through onto the members of Justice.
It just, the Leap Dragon tech isn't that important. It just allows you to be a little bit more predictable about exactly where the dragon's going to be. Because the voice line starts, and then you just immediately pivot it. Off angle on the right side. We don't have Sonic information. Where was our Sonic? Oh, he's on the corner there. He needs to be careful there because you know that Kai has got this sucker Sonic, you know? You know it. Has to be. So he's gonna be, notice that he's not even peeking anymore. He's like, ugh, careful. Now the Sonic expired, so there's a window to peek.
Not a lot of time to work with. 1 minute left. See if they try to take a fast
That Sonic is a little, I mean, whatever, I guess. Astro kind of feeds.
Again, under a monster. I mean, he showed up earlier in the matchup. Now coming alive late as well. Immortality field near Alpha.
Ah! I mean, okay, that was a good shot. You know what? I think, especially after that in the previous play, I think we move up the plat here.
I go down to Flora as well. Really clean fight for Justice without ultimates.
Gladiators holding on, knowing that they do have the Dragon Strike and Justice are so close to the overtime, but it is so to whether or not he can find.
There's the Sonic on the left.
It's going to come down to whether or not he can find.
He's gonna leave point very soon here, surely. I think leaning left side is probably the best position here. So I would prefer, if instead of Flora's here, I would prefer Flora to be here for an angle here, or even just an angle from point from here. I don't like his current position as much. There's the dragon. Now he can just honestly like do whatever he wants. Just sit here. Nice shot. Oh, not listen, boy. You are not. I am no, not working. Not today. No, 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 no. Get out of here with this nonsense. Sit down. And this guy's going to diamond.
Gladiators have no ultimates, and they're out of members as well. Justice.
Yeah, it was a smart flank by Kai, but it just, you know. Okay. Sonic on the Hanzo. Whoop! He has Sonic on him now, though, so he's got to be careful.
Yeah, I'm just going to go out of limit and say Nerf Hanzo. Okay? Hashtag Nerf Hanzo.
Now, this is the funny thing, okay? Let's talk about this really quick.
I'm just going to go out of limit and say Nerf Hanzo.
Who has the better positioning right now? Kai or Flora? This is an interesting one. Flora has the better positioning. He's got a really nice off angle here. You notice that Dante's trying to hide from these guys, but ends up he's right in front of Flora. So there's nowhere Dante can hide. And you see that because Dante has had to pop his Nemesis form and Mirror has not. Hanzo positioning diff. However, Kai is going for the higher risk, higher reward play where he's actually behind on the flank. He's not even fighting right now, but he's going to show up late. And while Flora is focused on taking the tank trade, he now has a massive advantage. I promise you that Kai is also Sonic right behind Flora right now. This is scary. I don't remember how this plays out. There's this, and there it is, right? So even though Kai doesn't hit a shot, his positioning scares Flora enough to where Flora gets picked off. And so Flora's positioning doesn't pay off. Really nice response from Kai there. That was cool. There aren't a lot of counter swaps, no. This is a good composition on this map. What pros do is they'll counter swap each other until they settle on a comp that's pretty good and hard to counter pick, and then that's what they'll stick with.
Yeah, really good forcing of
Wouldn't Mega be better? Probably, yeah. But it would mean a slightly worse angle on Dante, and then honestly it was just a really good response from Kai. You gotta give credit where credit is due. There's a Sonic on the Hanzo. It's making sure there's nobody around. Sonic there again. Now we have a nice angle on Cart. Now Kai, we got to be worried about, might be on the right. So we're concerned about that. You see that? He's there it is. Where is that guy? Where is that guy? Don't you dare. Don't you freaking dare. But they're able, Justice are unfortunately unable to win the fight on main. So like, you kind of see a neutral trade that, oh, it doesn't quite get the kill. A neutral trade from you know, both Hanzos kind of zoning each other out. And honestly, even Flora did get more tank damage than Kai did. But I'm not sure what happened with the wall trades on main. I think Flora played this one reasonably well. He checkmated Kai's positioning and did a little bit of bonus tank damage too. you know, you gotta win this.
Devastating degree as we headed into B. Alfie does have Blizzard. Mirror's going to be able to use Annihilation as well.
Okay,
Potentially
let's check this out.
prefer to see them cycle
Sonic on main. He knows that the Sonic is going to be on him, so he's not even going to peek that. He might peek it now. Now he's he's scared. He's scared. Oh no. Oh no. He does create now a nice little crossfire happening here. Now I'm concerned about Kai flanking us on the right though. There's the dragon. Splits off Dante. Dante overextends. Dante dies. This is like the Glad special. They go into this fight with a pick advantage. They commit a lot of ultimates. I mean, they did have a Blizzard disadvantage, but like they're not unable to pull it out. That's sucky. Yeah, of course, Evan. No worries, man.
They tried to beat to save Dante so that he was able to out-sustain Mirror with Annihilation, but the Ram does not.
All right, you guys ready for this one? We all know what's gonna happen here. At least most of us know.
While Mirror gets to remain standing as Teru now is looking incredibly dangerous, so close to the Ant Matrix and win control as well.
Here it comes.
As we see
Here it
Gladiators
comes.
forced into taking the same rotation that Justice did.
Sonic on the
No
choke.
one got a-
Oh!
You don't take the
Go back
rotation.
home. Go back home.
If the rotation is like that, you know, easy to call out, easy to notice.
Oh.
Gonna hit those shots over the top. You know, Kai's been doing the same thing over and over again. Flora's caught onto that. He keeps trying to wall climb up, look for these cheeky shots, but if you keep repeating the same angle, of course Flora will notice. Glad will now try to walk in.
Oh! What do you guys think, Masters? I gotta give a little bit of credit.
Why do you keep taking these jumps?
Sonic needs detected indicator. Yeah, that would be a good quality of life change, I think. Oh, wow, nice. And that one isn't just a pick. That one's a pick at a perfect time to where they can kill the rest of the team.
Who are looking clean.
Okay, one jump shot trying to
All right, come on.
up that wall and provide an angle of surprise where you already know that you're expected. I can deal with, but twice Kai has been
Come on,
just
let's go.
beating two
There's the
versus
shield.
these
I think that's
Sonic
because they were
versus
scared of
the
Sonic there.
Flora. He knows that he has to win the duel,
Surely,
otherwise
chat.
his team
Surely,
can't
chat.
step forward.
Oh! Right to Grandmaster. Now, are they going to push that? I don't know. Yes, they are going to push that, but you notice that he doesn't drop into it. He doesn't want to drop into it. Be patient, guys. They're going to flip the map.
Well, now sandwich gladiators who are stuck in this cave side, but Justice don't want to go yet because they know Kevster has the May ultimate.
Where's that Hanzo? Crap, where is this guy? So they're going to Sonic for the rotation, but that does put him at a disadvantage with the Hanzo. They don't know where Kai is. You see that? Where the freak is Kai? Where the frick is this guy? You see it? He's scared. Is he going to Sonic the choke again? Yes. Okay, there's Kai. We're good to go. Here comes the dragon. Wait, no, they're just going to kite it first. They're gonna, if they keep pushing this, they're going to dragon this. Dragon is a really good window counter because it says, oh, hey, you got a nice window. Right, runs right through it, and it does value besides that, too. It doesn't just counter one for one. It's also an appreciate another thing, too. But yeah, Sonic on main. The reason we're getting the Sonic on main here is I think Kai stops taking the window flank. Kai could flank around far left, though, so... Oh, he almost gets last throw. They're going to push. We might see a dragon here. They're scared of Blizzard. You notice that Flora doesn't push? Because not only is he a sniper, duh, but also there's Blizzard. If you push this Hanzo into Blizzard, you're cooked. He's got to be really careful. Aww, close. Come on. Come on. Positioning there was mostly fine. Probably could have kept a little bit more distance there.
And replaced all of the just and again Flora gets the
There's
chance
Hanzo.
of getting that first pick.
Is he going to go for the flank? Is he going to go for the flank? They probably don't need to. They have Blizzard here.
They have to go in with
Are they going to flip around? They're going to flip around, aren't they? Good Sonic. Tells them, this is where the team information is more important, right? We need to know if they're going in the far left or if they're going main. So that puts you at a slight disadvantage in the duel, but you need to have that information. There's the storm. Goes right over wall. So you're going to notice something, chat. Does anybody want to guess why Flora pushes here? Because this is a bronze move, right? And I don't necessarily agree with this, to be clear. But why does he push here? Target call. Right. I agree. I think it's one of those situations where it's like the team is screaming, kill this guy, we win, kill this guy, we win. And Flora's like, we got to kill this guy. And so he rolls the dice. This is not what his hero is good at, but okay. And maybe they get the kill. I think probably rolling the dice here was reasonable enough. He also gets the shot on Kevster, which means that they're going to actually be able to, I think that's going to be basically it here. Yeah, I mean, good. That was good. I think the Sonic arrow usage for the most part was good. Storm arrow usage for the most part was good. Obviously, the mechanics were good. Positioning was good, too. C9 from Alpha E. Yeah, that was fun. Yeah, that was really, really quite good. I don't know if I would push without Storm Arrow. Yes, that's true, Dobby. I agree with that one. So maybe not top 500, but it was pretty good. That was good. That was fun. I mean, this is what we're missing, guys. This is Hanzo. Hanzo's not even that fun of a hero to watch. Not enough evidence for top 500, yeah. GM2 at best, yeah, I'd say so. I don't know. This is what we're missing, guys. This is what we're missing. Hanzo getting those headshots is cool to see. That's true. That's true. Yeah. Yeah. Replay viewer is so good. It's there, guys. It's out there. It's right there for the taking. I could even get an OPR account if I wanted to help a contenders team. But, you know, I couldn't stream it, so what's the point? I mean, it'd be fun to study it for my own purposes, but like, I want to analyze it with you guys. I want to make videos. I want to like fun talking with you. It's just, I don't know. You feel so crooked after watching that? Yeah, this is the speakeasy stream. Why is Widow way less effective at this level? She's not. She's just more map specific, and unfortunately, Widow is also easier to counter by Sombra right now than Hanzo. You might see Widowmaker creeping back into the meta as Sombra falls out. That's why you see more Widowmaker in ranked, is because there aren't as many good Sombra players. That's the main reason. Do you guys want to do a map guide? A map that we have not done yet? Oh no, guys. I got busted. I tried to log into my Overwatch account, and no joke. This is what I'm looking at. I knew it. Bro. Oh no, my parents are gonna be so disappointed. No! Which one of you guys snitched? Bro, man, my freedom! I regret nothing! You can't tie me down! Dang it, man. I knew it would catch up with me someday. I just didn't think it'd be today. You never think it's gonna be you, or it's somebody you know. It just one replay VOD review, just one illegal VOD review, and you're screwed for life. You're branded forever, a criminal. It's just the system, man. Just the system. Alright guys, let's do a map review. Here's what we have done in terms of map reviews. I'll let you guys pick the map we review. We have done Colosseo.
I don't need this tip.
Yo,
Spilo, how come Tracer can be so dominant and neither nerfed or hated on by the community? Everyone freaks out over Widow, Sojourn, whichever the best tank is, but it feels I'm only one annoyed that Tracer is way too good.
okay.
And I don't get the argument that she's high.
So it's a good question. So the thing with Tracer is that she has a very high skill ceiling and a very high skill floor. You can't just pick up Tracer like you could pick up Widowmaker with like a first-person shooter background and perform at her. In addition, with Tracer, there's a lot of feeling of agency about if you die to Tracer. Like, oh, if I just hit my shot, right? It's not like with Widowmaker, oh, I forgot I'm not allowed to peek at all or do anything at all, right? Tracer still allows you to play the game. Now, there are people that dislike Tracer. But because she is such a high skill floor, because she doesn't immediately one-shot you, it feels like you have more counterplay. Pulse can be annoying, yeah. So in Gold Widow doesn't do anything? Nah, agree to disagree here. Agree. Gold Widow and Gold Tracer, like, you're first off, Gold Widow and Gold Tracer do the exact same thing. Do the exact same thing. Gold Cassidy and Gold Tracer do the exact same thing. Neither of them gets more value. That's an inherently flawed comparison, because if the Gold Widow did more than the Gold Tracer, then the Gold Widow wouldn't be gold. She'd win more games, and she'd be plat. What you can say is for the same amount of time that you put into a character, it takes more games to reach gold as Tracer than it does to reach gold as Junkrat. And that's why people dislike her more. Now, I will say, as somebody who played a lot of Ana Zen and still plays a decent amount of Ana Zen, Tracer is difficult and can be frustrating. But yeah. Hot take, Widow's skill ceiling isn't super high. I think that is a hot take, but I understand what you're saying. There are not as many things that you have to think about with as Widowmaker. The only thing is that it just feels like a limitless aim cap. That's the thing. But yeah, Tracer has a trillion more things to think about than a Widowmaker. Okay, let's keep going here. Okay, so map guide. Give me some nominations. Give me some nominations. We have done Colosseo. We have done Numbani. We have done Paraíso. We have done Midtown. Am I forgetting anything, ladies and gentlemen? I'm not doing a King's Row. You guys already know how to play King's Row. Give me a map that you guys don't know how to play, or that you're confused with. I've already done Paraíso. Trying to think of some of the newer maps, right? Or Jib, you know? Something that's back in rotation after a while. Circuit, Antarctica, Gibraltar. Let's start with those three. Let's start with those three right there. Okay, let's just do those three. Which map, and then I'll set up a poll in chat. Just give me a second. Antarctica, Gibraltar, or what was the third one? Oh, Circuit. Ooh, getting the willies just looking at these maps. All right, vote. The poll is live. What map do you need assistance or better analysis or understanding of? Way down upon the Swanee River, far, far away. Still pretty close, actually. You should watch Plat Chat talk about the map you do a guide on. They just did a map tier list. Yeah, their map tier list was donkey butt cheeks, alright? Their map tier list was just terrible. What was it, Dorado and Hollywood S tier? It showed up on Reddit, and I'm like, oh my gosh, my eyeballs. What are these people smoking? Bro, look at this, guys. Look at this. Where is it? Wait. Let me find. But while we're waiting for the vote, okay, it looks like Antarctica wins. We'll do Antarctica. Bro, let me find this, y'all. Let me find this. Now, everything when it comes to a lot of stuff is like, a lot of it is like personal preference. So things can be moved around, but I've never seen so many bad takes in one thing ever. Give me a second to get this pulled up here. Bro, Dorado S tier, Hollywood S tier, obviously King's Row. Lijiang doesn't even get S tier when it's probably one of the better Koth maps. Blizzard World only gets B, which is like okay-ish. Eichenwald B, okay-ish. Antarctica gets B when it's like probably my least favorite Koth map along with Busan. Numbani somehow gets away with C tier. Oasis only gets C tier? Why does Oasis get C tier? No way that you'd rather play Antarctica over Oasis. Junkertown gets C. Gibraltar gets C. Esperanza gets C. Rialto, I think, probably deserves B or even A if you ignore like the bridge. They refuse to put any Koths in S tier because that's such beta behavior.
I got it!
Circuit.
Oasis in FT.
Okay, I'm sorry.
My worst map this season long.
I don't like Shambali either, but no way that Shambali is on the same tier as Circuit. No way. No way. No way. I'm sorry. No way that you put this map on the same tier. I don't like Shambali either. But D tier? Maybe you need an F tier and put Circuit down there? Shambali is at worst a C tier. Yeah, the S tier, the worst takes though by far were like this. This is. Look at this soy jack. Look at these soy jack faces, man. I don't know. Ridiculous. Esperanza is also, I think, a little underrated too. I think. Okay. Okay. Let's do this, guys. Let's do this. Let's take a look at Antarctica now. Here's the thing with map guides. If you guys aren't aware. The thing with map guides is there are going to be so many details that I could cover, but that aren't going to be relevant and would not make this VOD review. It would just completely ruin the timeliness and the efficiency of this review. So I'm going to focus on the big picture stuff. And if you guys have any specific questions, hang on to the end, because I'm going to fix them to just go mile a minute. All right? Save your questions to the end. All right? First point. This point, whatever this point is, all right? This is the best point for Antarctica, in my opinion, because it feels like very little of the map is wasted, okay? So first thing that you need to know on rolling out needs to generally be prioritized on at least getting to and contesting high ground. So you can either go out this direction here. You can also go out this small door here and then roll out this way. You can also, if you are a flanker, wrap all the way around from this angle here. Really, a lot of this map and point are about playing around this high ground. Not just point, but the high ground. Because the high ground isn't only powerful because high ground, but also because high ground has a direct LOS onto point. Okay? So if you get control of the high ground, you indirectly either control point or you're able to shoot the people on point. So controlling high ground is very, very powerful. If you're not able to win this trade, though, never fear. Because it's also very reasonable for you guys to lean and rotate this direction. A little bit more risky, a little bit harder for backline, but there's actually pretty solid cover over here. And something that a lot of people don't remember is that you also can just disengage this direction from this little path here. Now, I don't generally recommend taking this pathing, but you cannot, if you don't have to force high ground here, you can also play this side of the map from here. In addition, flankers. Flankers, Tracers, Genji, Sombras, Wrecking Balls, even Winston's looking for a dive. Utilize this space here. This is really, really, really nice sight lines to wrap around onto backliners. And in addition to that, if you want to be extra sneaky, you can remember to go through here, through mini, and not only wrap around to here, but you can wrap around all the freaking way this way without being seen once.
Hey Spilo, I have recently hit GM and have been trying to expand my hero pool to include hit scans more. I have trouble with my high sense toe. TLDR, do you think it's good to have separate sense for hit scan versus flex DPS?
Stick with the same sensitivity if you can. Anyway, so wrapping through under, very, very powerful. There is a mini here that you can utilize. And then if you deepen your flank here, this is the mega that you guys need to be aware of. It's on both sides, as always with Koth, but these are the megas that you need to be aware of on both sides, and very, very, very heavily used by flankers, okay? So a lot of it's going to be coming down to fighting for this high ground to control point, and a lot of it's going to be coming down to fighting for this flank to control high ground to control point. You guys kind of see what I'm saying? It's like fighting for the flank so you can control the high ground. If you control the high ground, you control the point. If you control the point, you control the map. And that's kind of the way it goes. Now, in lower ranks, it's not always going to work out exactly like that, but you need to at least be aware of the lethality of this positioning. Supports, you could position all around here. You could set up for here. You could set up angles over here. There's lots of things that you could do. Please don't just stand here. Please also do not... Okay, the other thing about this high ground as well is that the cover on this high ground is terrible. So it's powerful to hold, but you can't just turn your brain off and sit here as a support, because you're not only exposed from behind, but more importantly, you're exposed to people retaking the high ground. I cannot tell you how many times on DPS, on Zenyatta, on tank, I have been like, you know, okay, we lost the fight at retake, we're fighting here, and I'm like, wait, is that Zenyatta just standing right there? Oh, okay, I'm gonna go kill him, right? So you need to be very disciplined with your positioning here. What I would recommend is playing somewhere along here or even taking an angle here, but don't just sit and hold high ground and look to point if you haven't already cleared them off of here, okay? So you need to be very, very, very careful, okay? The high grounds up around here aren't super, super relevant. There is technically a mini in here, but they don't have great connectivity. You're not going to see a lot of fights happening around this position here. You will sometimes see teams look to step up and stuff teams in this choke. This mega here is useful to stop that. But if this ever happens to you in your ranked gameplay, don't smash your head up against the wall and try and push through this choke over and over again. The reason why this is bad is because there is so much periphery, so many angles, and so many flanks that you can take on this side here and shoot them in the back. Heck, you can even wrap around and start touching point, force them to come back. The generally stuffing choke here is not very good. The other problem is that the enemy's supports will often be kind of standing out in the middle of nowhere right here, which makes them extremely vulnerable. So, pretty simple map, not a lot to it. Fight for the flank to control the high ground, fight for the high ground to control point, and then just being aware of the health packs as they're relevant is pretty important. Any questions about this? Any questions about this point? This high ground is okay. Like I said, the only problem is that the kite location is really bad and that there aren't really any relevant health packs here. This is probably my favorite Koth round from this particular map, though. I think it's not too bad. I enjoy playing this one. Feels like a lot of compositions can work here. Yeah. Any better locations to play on the high ground? Like I said, corner here. You can push and deep into here. Where's your kill box for a dive comp? It feels definitely setting angles until they reach point. I mean, that's the thing, is like at some point they have to reach point. So usually what you do is you'd set up your Winston or a Diva or whatever and dive from here while you have a flanker wrapping around from here. Occasionally you can also send a flanker to wrap around from here, but it's a little bit easier for them to see them and shoot them. What do you call the small high ground call out? I don't know that there is a call out for it. Ideal cover for supports is going to be somewhere here, though. Or here. You sometimes will even see supports leaning over into this position right here as well. Ramp is fine. Yeah, I like ramp. Is soldier a flanker? Yeah, soldier can be a flanker. Yeah, soldier. Soldier would work here. You know, you could take this angle here, and then you could even flank even harder over here, right? Yep. Okay, next mode. Little life hack, by the way, guys. Go into modes, control, limit valid control points, and select the one that you want. I don't remember all of the ones of where they match, but that if you ever needed to do that. Okay. Now this is the decent one. This one is a little bit messy too. Now we could talk about this one in similar terminology as the previous one, where a lot of teams will fight for the high ground, and if they fight for the high ground, they have the ability to control point. But the only problem with this one compared to the last one is that, first off, this is such a congested, tight range high ground that if, for example, you roll out on like Sigma and they roll out on Rhine, you're not going to win this high ground. It's just not going to happen. They're going to run you over. In addition to that, winning the high ground isn't that crucial because the high ground does have good LOS on point, but it's not great LOS on point. It's not as good as the previous map. So you'll likely have both teams rolling out and trying to at least look for or soft contest high ground. Now, what you could do is if you aren't like a May or a Reaper or a Rhine, you could do a swing, which means instead of rolling out just AFK here, roll out and look to take an angle here. Or even better, if you're playing a sniper, heck, even a Zenyatta or something like that, you can look to roll out along here. Now, you do not want to be in no man's land here. You need to be very careful about that. But what you can do is you can lean into this pillar as fast as you possibly can, and you've created your crossfire, you've created your distance, and you can help high ground from both sides of things. You'll see this a lot of this from both sides of things. So anyway, this is what I would recommend. If you are a flanker, Tracer, Genji, Sombra, Reaper, you can also look to control this flank from in here. And this is similar to the previous point, whereas if you have like a good flanker presence here, that can really help you to win this high ground, which then can kind of help you to control point. And for rollout, your best rollout option is through here. So you want to go out of spawn doors, and you're going to immediately lean up and over the snow path, cut through here, through here, and then there you go. There is a mega in here. There is also a mini back here. Probably one of the least used health packs on the entire map, but it is something to be aware of. And you also can bisect back towards point this direction. So be very aware of that. Now keep in mind, that does wrap around to a little window behind, but more importantly, that wraps around behind to their backline eventually. So you'll see sometimes that if you were playing a flanker, highly recommend it. How to play Zen on this map. Yeah, this is a brutal one. This is a brutal one. A lot of the things with Antarctica, this is a common theme of the map, is longer sightlines, but ugly long sightlines. For example, you'll see a lot of spam compositions, even in OWL, or longer sightline comps. They won't even roll out high ground. What they'll do is they'll roll out here, and they will roll out towards this building through here, and then set up here. And they'll set up their sightlines on here, and you can set up a little crossfire over here. There's a mega health pack, or excuse me, mini health pack back here, but you have like a little bit of a crossfire, a couple of sightlines from here. And this makes it so that you have this big, wide open void, right? That's very difficult for the brawl comp. So if you're playing a spam comp, most ranked teams are just going to roll out high regardless. However, don't feel terrible if you don't win this fight for high ground. You can just swing wide and control point. You can even swing all the way right side and look to control space on this side. In terms of health packs, this is pretty naked out here. There's a mini over here. I'm trying to think. There's a mega on either side and behind the iceberg, or the ice block right here. Okay. However, there's a lot of more open space. So generally, longer range compositions utilize this side of the map. Generally, shorter range compositions utilize this side of the map. Do not just stand on point. Point, just like the previous round, is extremely exposed to not only the flank over here, but also the flank over here. So please be aware of that. How do you feel about coaster flankers? I like coaster flankers. I think it's good. The only problem with coaster flankers is the time to get there. So generally, by the time that your team has reached high ground, if you go immediately coast, like say even a tracer, right, you're going to be about here, which means either you quickly cut across, and this isn't a very good flank, or you gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. You gotta keep going. Oh, wait, I can wrap around this way, right? And then by the time you get there, it's just like, oh, it takes forever to get there. So what I would recommend is either set up for a long flank and then try to cut through here and maybe shoot them from the back from here, maybe once point unlocks, or path with your team, kind of, sort of, but go through here instead. I think, like, for first fight, this is better. On retakes after first fight, like let's say after first fight, then there's nothing wrong with going ahead and setting up all the way far around this way, because you'll have the time to do that. Thoughts on setting up, say, outside the ship to contest the enemy. You will sometimes see people fighting here, holding close here. It is a little bit hairy. If this again happens to you, remember the same thing as the previous map. If people are like quote unquote spawn holding you, you have a lot of the map, this side of the map, to control from. There's a little mini over here. You can set up along here, right? You can also set up and look for flanks and angles along the left side. Remember, the weakness of Koth is that if they take the fight to your spawn door, they're not. Generally, the fight will happen very quickly, and then you'll have the opportunity to cap, or you can wrap all the way around behind them and leverage point. Okay. Any questions? Is this the worst high ground in the whole game? I mean, I wouldn't go as far to saying that, but it is one of the weaker ones. Would I say Brawl here is a pretty favorite here? Yes. I would say yes for the most part. Notable exceptions, I do think Tracer is good here. Tracer likes fat maps. Let's put it that way. Maps with lots of wide flanks. And this map is a short-range map for the most part, but it does have wide flanks. So yeah, Tracer's okay. Also, fun fact, this is indeed a boat. This is indeed a boat. You guys can probably see it now, but I think, I know for me, it wasn't something that I immediately saw. So, kind of cool. Yeah, a lot of Ramatra, a lot of May. Hanzo is good here because you could utilize like your wall climb here, and generally be more flexible with your sightlines. Icebreaker because the ship was one. Nice, there you go. Okay, last round here for Antarctica. My stomach is freaking out. I haven't had lunch yet, so I'm kind of starving to death. Okay, so this is the sucky one. This is the one that everybody and their mother hates, which is such a shame because it is one of the most unique maps in all of Overwatch, if not the most unique match. It is weird. It is mystical, dark, Very, very fun to explore and really, really cool looking. However, in execution, it's one of the worst maps in Overwatch. It's confusing, it's congested, and the biggest crime of this map is that there are massive chunks of the map that don't get used at all. So let's talk about this map. First things first, most compositions, like the previous 2 rounds, are going to roll out. They're going to roll out either through here, but more often than not, they're going to bisect up through here, drop, and fight for high ground. You can also go back a little bit further. You can go up the stairs and drop out this window and fight for high ground. But yeah, a lot of fighting for high ground here. Now, if your team cannot fight for high ground, like the previous 2 points, don't worry. You can also, instead of brute forcing it down here, down main, you can start to open up your off angles from this high ground, from these stairs, and even from all the way over here, or even just from this angle here. Heck, if you're running a flanker composition, you can wrap around through here and look to leverage an off angle from here, or continue to wrap, up through here, right? So like I'll see a lot of teams, like if you're playing, like if you're not playing Ryan or Ram or May, or you roll out and you're like, oh crap, like they're all here, like I can't do this. Then you don't brute force it. Like a high ground is important, but you can also utilize the longer sightlines that this high ground over here provides. And I think that's something that a lot of supports need to hear, instead of just sitting and trying to just brute force it up through here. I do not like this position. I think this position has very limited sightlines. I do see some supports playing here. You can't see anything on point. You can't do any offensive pressure. Please don't play here. So, if you get high ground, one of the mistakes that I see is teams will clear out high ground and then everybody falls down to touch point. Don't do that. Generally, you want to only have one person on point and the rest of people control high ground to prevent the enemy team from taking high ground. Because similarly to the previous points, if you get high ground control, you have good sightlines on point. If you have good sightlines on point, that helps you to cap point. So if you all drop the point, then the enemy composition is like, oh, nice place. You know what I'm saying? And then they take away this position from you, even if it's just a single hit scan, or a single DPS, or a tracer, or an Onig one for a nade, and then you see fights lost this way. So, yeah. So do try to control this high ground. If you can't control this high ground, then avoid the high ground. Play on these big far off angles over here. Don't play underneath the high ground unless you're controlling. This is a scary position. This is a hard position to be. Now, you can absolutely go around and wrap to their high ground from this position. Like if you're playing a flanker here, that's a really cool thing. This mega is obviously very important. And there's a couple of doors and little different ways that you can access things here. But please, please, please fight to at least play around high ground. Either control it or avoid it. Control it or avoid it. Master Obio, thanks for the sub, mate. Coach, thank you, mate. So yeah, swing wide, and then that's pretty much it, y'all. That's pretty much it. You're gonna be taking angles on point. If you're looking to retake, I love retaking from here. So you notice on your initial rollout, you're gonna go for the high ground. Well, you can, they're already controlling high ground. There's nothing wrong with rolling out here. This is a really good rollout, and then from here you can split the push high ground. Or you could stay here and control point and shoot and spam. So if you're playing longer sightline heroes, this little spot is going to be your best friend. This little angle over here, going to be your best friend, right? Down over here. Very, very nice. If you get opportunity to control high ground, that's really, really good too. Just keep in mind that obviously that they can peek out of this window and pummel you. A little bit of a niche tip, but if you're playing like a Reaper May, Ryan Reaper May, something like that, if you win the control for high ground and they're trying to fight you for the high ground, hiding in here as like a Reaper or like a May is like seriously OP. Because they have to like turn the corner to look at you. You hide from all this stuff over here. This is a really, really cool thing if you're playing like a Reaper comp here. But yeah, anyway, long story short, that's really, really good. And then when you're holding the point, again, try to control the high ground and only drop somebody to the point when you have to, and try to not drop everybody. So you might have like your Reinhardt here, your May here, let's say you're playing like a Widowmaker over here, that's good, your Anna's back here, let's say you're like your Brig is over here, it's fine. But everyone's kind of spread out, taking angles around the high ground and taking angles around point. Now, you will also occasionally see Ana and Zenyatta players taking, or Widowmaker players and Sniper players taking really long sightlines over here. This is a good sightline for really, really snipery comps. You will see that sometimes. And then we get to the weird part, okay? So we've talked about the good, we've talked about the bad, then we're gonna get to the ugly, okay? Technically, you can wrap all the way over here and do things over here. And I don't know why you would. This is a pathway on the way to a little jump pad with a mega. Now, why on earth would you be here? I don't know. This entire portion of the map, which is about a third of the map, literally the entire part of the map that is on my screen right now, is not used at all. Not at all. So I don't know why this is here. I don't know why the glass is there. It might be that they think that this high ground is too powerful. But then my question is, then if it's too powerful, why is it here? I don't understand. So they created not just an area with a mega health pack, but something that's just totally a waste of space and a waste of developer time. So for this to be balanced, you would not only have to remove the glass, you would need to chop out this entire chunk of ice for this entire part of the map to be functional. It wouldn't even just be removing the glass, it would be a lot more than that. So yeah, be aware that this exists. Sombra players, Tracer players, if you're looking to set up some deep angles on the backline, you could take the jump pad here, and you can wrap around pretty sneaky, but even that is just not very necessary. You can do the exact same thing from, this little window here. You could do it from underneath the point. You could do it from this off angle over here. I don't understand. I've never seen such a waste of developer time on a map as I did on this map. It's bizarre. But yeah, anyway, that's Antarctica. Probably one of the worst Koth maps in the game in terms of the amount of wasted space and clunky and awkward positioning, but also it's also visually a little bit painful, but very, very cool map, no pun intended. From a casual side of things, it is a very creative and interesting map. Any questions? Drink my Wawa. Man, I need food. Is there ever a reason why you'd use the jump pad in any scenario? Yeah, to get the mega faster. Let's say that you're like a ball player, and you just came off of, your stalling point, you're like, oh crap, you zoom, boing, grab the mega, set back up again. What are you going to eat? I don't know yet. Any questions about the map as a whole? Is it bad or horrible? I wouldn't say it's a horrible map. It's just a bad map. Fair enough, Rag. Appreciate it. What comps do you think is best in this one? I think this particular map opens up snipers by a teeny tiny bit, just based off of this high ground back here. And you'll see that in Overwatch League and Pro Play. You'll see some Hanzos and some Ashes. You won't see a Widowmaker necessarily, but you'll see more. And because of the high ground too, like the fact that this high ground is it's difficult to get up and down in the high ground, you'll see fewer Reinhardt and Ramachas and a little bit more Winston. So I would say Winston, Tracer, Poke DPS would be really good here, or Sombra would be really good. As BAP, should I stay above point usually? I mean, yeah, you could play here, and then if they push you off of high ground, you can drop and jump back to here again. How would you play Junkrat in this map? Junkrat would play to try and contest this space over here. You would want to avoid the areas of the map over here. So you'd really try to either by yourself or with your team try to look for assassinations in these short sightlines here. And if you get the opportunity to push little slinky stuff here, that would be good too. Is high ground on point good because there is no cover on it? It's still good, yes, it's still good. Is playing on the wall a good angle for snipers? On the wall, not as much, but yeah, on this wall, in this area, yeah. Should the tank try to force point into enemy high ground control when you roll out wide and low ground? Yeah, so if you can't contest the high ground, then forcing point and making them drop is a good solution. Because you can hide from the high ground, kind of, sort of, if you're a tank. When you say control high ground, are you talking about tanks and longer sight DPS, or does it include, it includes flankers too, to an extent, but not as much. For you, controlling high ground as a flanker might mean that, maybe if you're a Genji, you're throwing some shurikens, get a fat deflect here. But then you might also be, to control high ground, might be a wall climb up to here, throw some shurikens, right? Or if you're Tracer, wrapping around and trying to contest their high ground from the back, Any tips versus double hit scan as Tracer? Close the distance. Be sneaky. if you lose first fight in the brawl mirror, is swapping dive to retake worth? Probably not, no. You would just have to change the way that you'd retake. You probably wouldn't just walk out of the small door and just get yourself walled and killed. You might roll out here, force point, try to get some walls on point. You don't have the high ground for your hit scan, but, you know, you made your bed, you gotta lie with it. Do you think the Overwatch 2 devs are kind of downgrade compared to the Overwatch devs? I wouldn't say that, no. No, that's way too much conjecture. Okay. That was Antarctica. Hope that was able to help a little bit. The thing with map guides, as always, is that it is more about the couple of tips or tricks that you picked up and not about the overwhelmingly advice on how to play the map. That is just not reasonable. So I hope, if nothing else, you learned a couple of small details that you can apply in your ranked games. That's the purpose of these guides. Trying to coach an entire map from a compositional standpoint is unbelievably difficult and really impossible. But if you just learn a couple of tips and tricks, then it was worth the time. Okay, let's do some Ask Spilo. So ! Discord. In my Discord, there is a channel called Ask Spilo, and you can throw any questions that you have in that Discord. I'll just do the command right here. And I will go over them. I should be able to get to close, if not all, the questions today. I've done a good job catching up on the backlog, if I do say so myself. So we'll see what we do here. Do you think of Winston to... No, I'm not going to even give that a check mark because that gives the wrong signal. What do you think of is the most fair ultimate in the game? And I don't just want to say fair because it's weak. You know, like, technically fair. Don't peek at forehead. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It's such a vague question. Maybe Nano Boost. It's pretty much, you know, it does what it does. You know? It does what it does. High Noon's pretty decent for that as well. Like, you know, you die to High Noon. It's not like you're, like, you know, punching the wall, you know? Yeah, that's my gut instinct without overthinking it too much. What's the Spilo sim take? Do you think she's balanced for how niche she is? Do you think she needs buffs? I wouldn't say sim necessarily needs a rework as much as some other heroes do, but I think too much of her power lies in her turrets. I think that from Overwatch 1, excuse me, to Overwatch 2, she definitely moved in the right direction, making her projectiles move faster, giving her more flank options, making her less of a beam frontline hero. She's definitely very interesting to take. If you've ever watched like really high level Symmetra play from like somebody like Meta 1, really, really cool. Really nice, right? It's just that there's still aspects of her, like the turrets, that are frustrating. I don't like her ultimate design. It feels a little bit like Ramatra in terms of you just press the Q and it just gets passive value, and it's just like this big ugly fat thing in my screen, you know? So I think like I think she's better than she used to be, but I wouldn't say that I'm still happy with where she is. Is what I would say. Out of curiosity, what's the John 2:2 verse? What does it mean? Look it up. It's a great Bible verse. I would say, whenever I try to put something in the bottom right here, I was trying to think, what is the best represent? Like, if I could only say one verse, what would it be? And it actually took me a long time. I changed it a lot until I found that one, and that was the one I went with. Most important thing you could possibly hear. So you look it up. Some dude in the street insults Peppers and challenges you to a dance battle. What's my first move? Ooh. I could get him with a... Wait. Yeah. You know? Oh yeah, dance battle here. That... Or we could get him with a whole... Wait. You guys... Oh, wait. I don't know if I can do this anymore. Get him with a... You know what I'm saying? That's what we get him with it. I would say drop it like it's hot, but it ain't hot. It's ice cold. Ice cold. You know what I'm saying? That's a great question. So I played a console my entire life. Yeah. And I recently swapped the PC and pursued a path pro. However, I've been struggling to get my rank up by playing 3.7 games, but can't even get out of mid-diamond. Almost every game where people are in voice, I win. When there's no one talking in voice, I lose. Even though I perform in scrims doesn't mean I get credit right. You are... you're a classic team player. Team players are smart players. They're communicators. They're great at coordinating. But they're not very good at the game. You don't have a good mechanical performance. You're not very good mechanically in the heroes that you're playing. You don't have a very good execution of how to use and get value out of your cooldowns or your ultimates. Your positioning is probably not very good either. Now, I'm being rude here, but I'm telling you like it is. This happens all the time, where players overperform in scrims because what they bring to the table is communication and coordination, which are important skills, but you're not good at the game. You're good at being a team player, but you're not good at the game. If you need to focus on not just what I'm coordinating and coordinating, no, you need to get good. You need to hit your shots, get value without using your voice by using your cooldowns and hitting your shots and positioning well and cutting down on your deaths and increasing your eliminations and positioning better and getting higher ult percentage, fight win percentage. Get good. The reason why if nobody's talking in voice you lose is because you're winning more games because you're coordinating in a team environment. You're playing a 3.7k scrims, but I can't get down to mid-diamond. Now, I want to compliment you because clearly you're a great coordinator, communicator, you're a good listener, you're a good team player. Very important skills. But you're being gatekept by your rank. Now, I've also worked with players that are, scrimming, and they're like, bro, I can't even scrim. I'm terrible in scrims. Like, I'm like 4K, but I can't even perform at like a 3.8K scrim because they can't coordinate. They don't listen. They don't communicate, right? They're terrible team players. So the opposite is true too. But your problem is you need to get good. What do I need to be doing? Be aware of your team, coordinate with your team, but don't say a word. Play the game. Get good. When did I VOD Helix Snake? That name doesn't ring a bell. I might have. I've VODed hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people since I've come back. But that name doesn't ring a bell recently. Top 5 most important heroes for Flex DPS currently? Well, currently, 1, 2, 3, 4. I would say maybe 5. But this one's pretty flexible. Definitely Tracer Sombra May. Hanzo almost certainly. Having a pocket hit scan definitely helps as well. Yeah, that would be my guess. Ashe isn't flex DPS, but also the way Overwatch 2 has been really Overwatch as a whole has evolved meta-wise is flex DPS having a decent hit scan is still helpful. Or having a hit, yeah. Okay. Spilo, can we kiss? Does Quack Attack ring a bell? Of course it rings a bell. Quack Attack was the first team I ever coached. I don't even know if I really coached them. I did a couple of VOD reviews for them. They're like a Diamond Masters team. It's been so long though. Quack attack purple. I don't remember. I remember there was a couple different quack attacks. Yeah, yeah. I faintly remember. I did a couple of VOD reviews, man. That was ages ago. Thoughts and defense spawn hole in point A, Shambali. It works if you're running a brawl comp, right? Where you're not worried about losing the high ground and you just want to take as many fights as possible. Yeah. How do I balance my hero pool between comp and organized play as tank, and how well do you think Scrim and comp gain since interchange each other? Currently, I play mostly Ryan, Diva, Winston, and both, with a few others in Scrim. I can succeed with Ryan, but I feel like the other two aren't working near as well in comp. Well, you need to practice both, right? You still your ranked experience is more to complement and sharpen up your skills for scrims. If you're struggling in ranked with a hero, I mean that can happen, but also it might be that there's some mechanical or cooldown aspect of the hero that you can clean up so that you can perform better in scrims too. Do you know the org with 07? Huh? Thoughts on the Jungle Queen comp versus Ram comp matchup of life patch? It seems like a fairly neutral matchup to me. Ram have better poke range, quicker cycles, Ram have the other more powerful solid second per speeder. Both have not same power to play. I want to focus on playing. Yeah, I think your read is accurate. I think the Ram is the one that actually, ironically, wants to get poke earlier, but also he's only significantly better in the poke when he has like shield. And if the Queen is able to like play around his shield cooldown, then the Queen can force the poke. And then the Ram might use Nemesis form early. Yeah, I don't know. It's just really about which one uses their cooldowns better. They're both like hybrid brawl heroes with like, and I think it's more about like which one uses their cooldowns better. How much does a coach need to study? What do you recommend as study materials? I mean, it depends on what you're going for. Team coach, I would recommend outsized macro materials. I have a ton of macro materials out there. There's other coaches out there that have good macro materials out there. My first recommendation would be to look at somebody like Egoist Cat in terms of studying your macro. I think he's the only person that I feel like I felt like I had things to learn from Egoist Cat, you know, and I don't think there's a lot of other coaches. So that one's good for like macro coaching. For doing what I'm doing, like just one-on-one coaching, coaching plats, coaching golds, I guess a little bit of both is kind of what I'm doing. Then you would just practice VOD reviewing, look at other people's VOD reviews, take notes, things like that. I study a little bit right now. I don't study a lot. I study mostly L, and there's a few coaches out there that I keep an eye on for new ideas or new tricks or tips. And I also do a lot of my own study, like books and communicational study. And I also kind of VOD review my own VOD reviews. I'm always asking for feedback. But yeah. Natter OW. I think Natter was fine. I just don't think Natter has anything in Overwatch 2 as much. I like Natter. I like Natter. And I do, yeah. Hey. Is Life River in a good spot right now? No. Life River is just a joke. Like, Life River is a total joke. Yeah, total joke. Terrible hero. Can you commit tax fraud? Yes, you can. Go right for it. Let me know how it goes. How do you feel about Wizard 101? Never played it. I'm aware of it, but never played it. Coaching coaches coming soon. I've coached a lot of coaches. They're on Spilo too. Check them out. Some of them have been off stream. So sadly, there's been a lot of. I coached a couple of World Cup coaches actually. But those were private. But there's a few coaching the coach stuff on my channel. Drink, yes. Will I ever try? Have you ever tried out a fighting game? I mean, I freaking love playing Super Smash Brothers as a kid, you know. And I play it occasionally when I go to a friend's house when I visit my brother-in-law in New Hampshire, but not likely. Silly little guy. What a quirk. What a quirky little mate. Have you ever gotten feedback or consulting on your YouTube content? Not a professional consultant necessarily. I did get some feedback from a very big Overwatch channel. I'm constantly talking with other peers of mine for ideas. And then obviously the feedback forums is where the vast majority of the ideas. Like I said, I've been through 440 feedback forums for ideas for YouTube. What do you guys think of the thumbnails? What do you guys think of this? What do you guys think of that? Like, you guys want to see something insane? Check this. Check this. So I went through 440 feedback forms. It took me like 7 hours. It was more like 6 hours. Check this out. Where is it? Shoot, I lost my place. Where is it? Here you go. Do you see this madness? Do you see this? Do you see those tally marks? Do you see these words? That's only page 1 and 2. Watch this. Do you see all this madness? Okay? Do you see all this? That's all feedback. These are all ideas. So whenever I get these feedback forms, I'm not able to do everything on there, but I try to establish a sort of a priority or hierarchy list. I meet with all my moderators. We talk for like an hour. We set a game plan of things that we want to do. I mean, you guys talked, I posted this in the announcement, right? So like, these are all the things I did for my last feedback session. There's a couple other details that I forgot to put in there. But yeah, I mean, most of the feedback comes from you guys. So I don't want to use Excel. I like scrabbling. I don't like using the computer when I can avoid it. So yeah, anyway. So we're gonna be, there's gonna be some over the next month or two. There will be another at least half a dozen different adjustments, little things, big things, new content ideas, YouTube adjustments, quality of life changes, Discord stuff, Twitch UI. We've got a website working on behind the scenes that should be done in a couple weeks. All sorts of stuff. Yeah. I like paper and pen, man. I've worked through so many notepads. I don't like taking notes on computer. I can type fast, but I don't like it. Top 3 or 5 games besides Overwatch. Man. The ones that I've played are ones that I would rank, because I played a lot of Lord of the Rings Online back in the day. I was really good at that game. But that game is just dead game. It's a horrible MMO. A great story, horrible MMO. So I would say Sekiro is one game that I've really enjoyed. Age of Empires 2, Roller Coaster Tycoon 2, maybe. I did enjoy Elden Ring. I don't know. That's a tough one. Do you think of no. So much sorting data is so much easier with Excel. Yes, but tallies. If there was example, a Doomier and one Doom had a very tanky backline, the other doesn't, is it fair for the Doom with a weaker backline to peel or play for the backline? You could mark the enemy Doom, yeah, but you would try to instead of trying to peel, you would instead try to hunt the Doom. Because the problem with peeling is it implies going back. You never go back. You almost never go back as Doom. So you try to proactively pressure that Doom fist as quickly as you possibly can. Your list of cheese heroes, I mean, you know what the list is going to be. And I know more people would add more people to this list, but yeah, I won't. Yeah, something like that. Now there's other heroes that are frustrating and corny, but those are the hardcore cheese ones, I would say. What do you think is the best composition on Queen in the current patch? Kiriko, Lucio, Tracer, Queen, and then Genji or Sojourn or Ashe or Mei or Echo. I think Echo is probably quite good. Don't know. I don't have a lot of scrim insight there. And OWL teams aren't scrimming on it either, so I don't know. Not Sombra. Yeah, Live Weaver is pretty cheesy. Yeah, that's true. How do I play Zen if the enemy team is running Tracer, Genji, Winston? Distance, spam. Any pressure that you put on them before they dive hurts them in the mouth. When do I speed boost in brawl comps? When your tank is moving forward or when your tank is moving backward. Do not predict, react. Would you like to rework to existing maps? Yeah, really a lot of maps in Overwatch 1 are aged really poorly in Overwatch 2, and honestly a lot of the Overwatch 2 maps have been big misses. Circuit Royale is probably the worst map in the game right now. I don't know what they were smoking. That's just terrible design. Antarctica has its iffy moments. Escort is a lot harder with the more open sightlines now that you're missing a second tank. Yeah, I think they're not going to do it, but they probably should. Colosseo. Remove the glass! Yes, exactly. Let's do a few more. I'm a Masters 1 player attempting to get into Grandmaster. Find goes together. What will be the most generic piece of advice for me? Generic, better than others. The best skill that you can build as an Overwatch player is to, before the fight starts, think about where I should be positioned. If you want the most vague, generic, but also the most important skill for tank, DPS, support, any composition, any map, any matchup, pre-fight, build the habit of thinking about position before the fight starts. Unbelievably underrated, unbelievably underutilized, and unbelievably important. Do you ever think that Hanzo's ult should move slower so it does better than MF longer? I don't know. It's an interesting take. Maybe. That's true, Matt. Will you ever do a video on surviving dive as support, especially if heroes like Honest and playing a full dive a little bit? Yes. You need to proactively put out pressure so that the dive never enters at full resources. Dynamic positioning is something that I'm thinking about doing a video on, which talks a little bit about that. But the thing with Honest and Zen is if the dive enters at full HP, full resources, you're going to die. It's over. You're cooked. So that's why not more aggressive, but more proactive support play is very, very important. You cannot let the divers enter at full HP. You need to be harder to track, more damage output, punish them with cooldowns, things like that. What do you think the Summer Rework is going to look like? I honestly have no idea. I have a feeling we're going to move away from things like, we might even move away from things like Translocator. Permastealth is probably going to go. I'm not sure. I hope they get rid of the hacking aspect of Sombra in terms of removing your abilities. Even though it's not as bad in Overwatch 2, the whole fundamental concept of removing your abilities is kind of like the Life Weaver kind of thing, where it feels fundamentally broken. I don't like using that term, but I've never understood why that would make sense in a game. It just doesn't seem to make sense to me. How do I get VODs from top 500 players? Know people. Get in their lobbies. Have friends that play in Grandmaster. Hack to increase damage is cool. Yeah, I agree. That one is fine. That aspect of it is fine. Ryan or Ram? Close range, long range. Ram is a good brawl tank when you can get a little bit of poke early before they play Ryan. While you're playing on Shambali, that map is just sightline enough to where having the Ramatra shield poke and close the distance with Nemesis is really, really, really useful. One is not objectively better in all of these scenarios. Like if I'm running Lijiang Tower Control Center, I want a Reinhardt. If I'm playing on Oasis University, generally I want a Reinhardt. You'll still see Ram on those maps because Ram is pretty good, but yeah. If you could play both equally, that's the factor there. That's true, Huggin. That's a good idea. When you look at chat, are you looking at Tiny Monitor or are you looking at my phone? I'm looking at my phone. Next time you go through the feedback form, it's going to be streamed. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's not... I did consider this. I almost did this. My only concern was that it's not the most fun content. It might be fun for some folks. I don't want to like leak people's feedback because I don't know if there's like a certain amount of it's private. Not that I actually needed to know. I could just skip that part of it. I could have done it. Yeah, that's something I'll consider in the future. Yeah. You have a problem with this. Target focus mid fight. If you lose your primary hero, look for the fast trade into Squishy's target. If you can't get a fast trade, you lose here. Play less risky. If you can't get a fast trade, if you lose your primary hero, look at the fast trade. The Squishy's target. I would say the Squishy's target that's also most aggressive. Like the problem with target focus is that it always fails to account for aggro. The tank feeding is oftentimes an easier kill than the Mercy that's in the backline. If you can't get a fast trade and you lose the healer, play less risky. That's fine. If you can't get a fast trade and you lost your damage there, pull out. I mean, I think the rules for all of these, if you lose somebody and you can't get a fast kill, give up space. Whether it's tank, support, or DPS, it doesn't matter. It's the same answer generally all the way. If they lose tank, play quicker and more aggressively. No, you would like the thing. Well, I actually talked about this in a Diva VOD review today. If you lose anybody, or if you get a pick on anybody on the enemy team, bam, right? Don't just run it down. Cautiously push forward and look to put attention on the off-angles, right? Because if you just run it down mid, that's how you get traded on the flanks. Even if they lose a tank, you got to be really careful. If they lose healer, focus on the enemy that relies on healing the most. No. If they lose close range damage, focus front lines unless they're vulnerable. If they lose long range damage, play for angle. Yeah, see, this has good information in it, but you're trying to flowchart Overwatch. You can't flowchart Overwatch. You have to. The answer will always be it depends. But there are some general rules that you can follow, like if you're up one, cautiously continue to apply pressure. If you're down one, give up space, and see if they overextend the punish, right? But there's not even a rule about if you lose a tank, if you lose DPS, if you lose a healer. The only one maybe is like if you lose a healer, try to not take as much damage. You know, the basic stuff like that. Hugin plays. Why do I see so many Winstons and Owl jumping after other Winstons and bubbling? I would need to see timestamps. Generally, this is a misplay. But it might be that they're looking to dive Sombras or Tracers that are with the Winston or Kirikos that are with the Winston. If you can throw me a timestamp in here, I'll take a look at it. Yeah, shoot me one. This is a good question, and sometimes it is the play. Like if the backline is inaccessible, then you can do the equivalent of zoning backline by zoning the Winston, right? But usually not the play. You ever gonna look at hot or cold takes on stream? Yes. Did it not too long ago. Did it last week, I think, or the week before. That's why the channel blew up for like because everyone was dropping in there. Yo. Oops. Yo. Am I gonna get egoed now?
What's up?
What's up?
I just wanted to make you uncomfortable for a second.
That's fine. You did it successfully. Yeah, I was in a quick play game, so I'm deciding about whether I should spectator invite her or not.
Don't spectate her. She doesn't like that.
It's point left.
Yeah.
You logging on?
Yeah, I had the same like agree to the terms. I think because I watched your video, so
yes.
now it doesn't want to let me on.
That's what you get, man.
Hello.
Hey, Arietta.
Hey, Arietta.
Hey.
What's up, Anna?
Nothing much. Tired, little
Yeah.
jet lagged. Otherwise fine.
Oh yeah, that's right. How was the trip overall?
It was excellent. The food was amazing, and it was a good, you know, break and experience after school and stuff.
Nice. Sounds fun.
Oh no, I forgot my PC doesn't like Overwatch updates.
Yeah, my thing did not like whatever that review thing did. It will not let me log in.
When I
I'm just getting the spinning little signal, like the
That's
logo.
what I got to. Yeah, I had to click out and click back in.
When I
I'll
pulled
be
it
back
up,
in a min.
when I pulled it up, the web page never worked. Like I just never worked. Like I pulled like pull up the thing, review the thing, and it pulled up a web page. It was just like a blank web page. There was nothing there. So I have no idea.
Oh, they came out with a new pride flag.
Oh, hey, maybe I can actually log in.
See?
Hey, and update my PC liked. All right, let's go.
I'm gonna risk inviting Arietta, hoping that it does not crash all of our PCs immediately. I'm gonna gamble.
It would be just my luck.
Yeah. All right. Wait. Not like who's declining the role selection invite.
I'm back.
Ah, see, I knew it.
Yep, there.
Figured
Yep,
it out.
was
Mystery
confident.
solved.
See, I
Wow.
can't tell what's more of a failure, you failing to decide on a role, or me failing to hear you when you said, I will be right back.
Or to notice that I'm the only muted person in the call.
That's true, that's true. But that involves alt-tabbing, which I can't do.
You don't have overlay?
Oh, that's right. I
No.
forget you only have one
Wait, you
monitor.
don't have overlay on?
No! I gotta focus on my game! I
Uh-huh.
can't have things lighting up on
I
the
don't
side
know
of my
how you-
screen.
I don't know how you do
tricky-
everything you do on one
The
monitor.
tricky assumption thing there is you need to have game to focus on.
There's
Okay,
a spider in the
alright,
window.
Listen, bud. Yeah, it's so smart, man.
I'm just, you know, speaking it how it is.
Okay.
You should post one of those streamer wishlist things so then you can get a second monitor.
Oh,
I
I
have a
have
second
no
monitor.
idea how you do all everything that you
Well,
do,
it-
like
part-
mod
part-
reviews and stuff with just one monitor.
Part of it is just like the like there just isn't a lot of
can-
room on my desk. Like we've talked about this, where I
Yeah.
like, have like a little extension thing. But,
You can
like,
get pretty far with just using your phone or like another laptop
Yeah.
or something.
Yeah. Or also just
you wanna-
really intelligent.
Do you want
Or
a
you can get
$50
monitor arm.
monitor?
What?
Do you want one of those?
What? What'd you say?
What about a
Monitor?
monitor arm?
Oh yeah, I
To,
was
To like
thought
save
about
you
that.
space in your
I-
desk.
I thought about that. I don't know how it would synergize with the standing desk thing. You know, going up and down. Those things seem to be a little bit more fragile. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
I think
had
it'll
a
be
monitor
okay.
arm on a standing desk.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't any issue. I don't know. I
Yeah.
don't know what your desk setup is like, but that was my work setup
Alright,
for the
alright,
longest
fair enough.
time.
Yeah, you can get like a super cheap monitor, like just for chat.
Chat says my mic is quiet. Am I quiet for you guys?
No,
No.
you're fine.
That's
Weird.
normal.
Give me a second.
Maybe we're loud.
Yeah, we are. A lot of time you do keep us a little loud. I'll be honest.
Alright. Alright.
Like I love my own voice, but
It's an accommodation.
Maybe? I don't know. Hey everybody! Hey!
What?
Okay,
that was
let me know.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they changed the crosswalk to Pride. Very cool.
Oh, I'm just walking into a
Oh,
wall.
dude, I almost landed the sickest shot on her. But you landed it first.
My
Fish
latency
is
like
low.
Why is going so far?
Ooh. Yep. Nice.
No!
Roll.
I can get this.
I got hit by the fire truck. Think you won.
Oh, I am fighting. You guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Yep.
Right? I'm rubber banding just a wee bit.
Oh,
On a no sleep.
Happy to assist.
Oh, we've lost both our DPS. Hang on, I'm gonna talk to
Well, to be fair,
sustain this.
more like you just lost Gregor because I am not doing much DPS. Like.
That's okay.
you were keeping the widow pressured. I'll be honest, you were helping.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I am like rubber banding so bad, but my internet's fine.
Are you sure?
I think so. My signal's okay.
I am so dead here.
Clip.
Keep me on hitting.
Oh, I can't start. Hanzo! Okay, there we go. I got you.
Holy crap.
Hey, we did it.
Chad, are you
I'm
seeing
channeling
this? Is
Flora
my
right
internet
now.
Okay? Like, is my stream okay?
My goat.
There are a bunch of different heroes here, so just be aware. I'm not gonna like even break it down.
Oh, no more Widow. Okay.
That's
nice.
crazy. Now I can't win the Widow duel and redeem myself.
So I'm like unscoping and scoping and bouncing all over the map. Oh! What? What? We're on Widow again? We're on Widow again? Okay.
No, okay.
Oh, there we go. I redeemed it.
Bro, what is
Nice.
going on, man?
Get out, Sombra. Very delightful.
Venomine. I'm Venomine. Widow grapple.
Widow's main.
Uh-oh. I messed up a grapple. Okay, I'm good. Dude, where is the Sombra?
Got you.
I'm up here.
I'm diving with you, with our Winston.
Uh-oh, Widow got a kill.
Nah, it's okay. I got my one.
I forgot the Sombra was alive. Shoot, my bad.
Alright.
I didn't even realize it happened.
Was gonna res our Widow, but I guess I gotta use it on you.
Nah, no chance you're gonna res that. I was like...
Yeah, no, I was there. I was there.
What?
I was there.
How did you get there?
We
Oh, we are
strategically
so
moved up.
screwed here.
It's all good. Oh no, I can't see our monkey. Oh, okay, no, never mind. Oh, I am dead.
Nice
Sure,
stagger,
man.
big stagger.
Bro, like, what is going on with the internet here? It's not even the internet anymore. It's like that happened last night too. I don't know why it would do that. Any ideas what we should do? Okay, thanks, man. I'll check it out. Yeah, shut up.
Ooh, I am hacked.
I hit her. Oh, she's out. She's out. I hit her in Invis. Goodbye, Winton.
Okay, I made it. No, hit a shot. Thank you.
Marietta, always so toxic. You never took anybody else to hit a shot but me.
No, but nobody check the scoreboard, please.
I'm having the game of my life. Oh, your voice is lagging a little bit now too.
Are you seeing this? Am I lagging on stream now?
Let's go. Varashi's here to carry.
Oh my god, my chair! Oh no.
Like, what is happening?
Alright,
Dude.
I am gonna.
You're like in another
You guys can
dimension.
hear me, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
there
it
was-
was in now.
You've been cutting out
You
a
were
little
quiet
bit
for a
here
little
now.
bit.
He muted himself.
Stream is
Oh, okay.
fine?
Oh,
Bro,
okay.
What?
Hi.
Why? Why? Why would it do this?
That's all I care down.
Look at this, 2,000. Can we get 2,000 MS? No, not me.
Yeah,
He
your
is-
stream's also lagging.
He is cooking.
Oh no.
Man, one of our supports isn't doing anything.
Alright. We're gonna take a quick chill. Ladies and gentlemen, can you hear me? Is everybody okay? Hello? Good? Everybody okay? Gonna take a deep breath. Okay. I don't know why it's doing this. I had this issue last night when I wasn't even streaming. So I'm not really sure. Regardless, sadly, that probably means that we should probably stop stream. Because I don't know what's going on. Yeah, see, now even the web page is taking a while to load. So, internet, maybe it's not just Overwatch here. Maybe it's not just Overwatch. I'm honestly not too sure. Low mic? Yeah, see, the other thing is, like, why is the mic so quiet? Yeah, like, I have no idea. Because that was weird, too. Because that was different. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna call a stream. Loves and kisses. I will see you guys on Saturday companion stream with the Overwatch League stuff. Exclamation mark coaching. Exclamation mark your mama. Appreciate you guys for all stepping in chat. Yeah, I don't know. I don't really got a whole lot to say. Appreciate y'all for being nice and being here. Hopefully I can figure out my internet issues. I'll see you guys on Saturday. Spilo.